Can you tell me why you're wearing a garbage bag?
The new big and sexy range.
The big and sexy collection.
the big and sexy collection by Hosstile.
Look how nice my shirt is. Look, it's loose. It's but it's fitting. It still like fits.
Stop rubbing your nipples, or we're gonna have to get personal here.
Why do you know? I wonder sometimes, and this is not a knock on small guys, but like smaller guys that weigh like say like 200 pounds, for example, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I want oversized stuff. And I'm like, but if you just wore like a 3XL, it would be you know,
just buy a bigger
like,
t-shirt.
this is why I'm saying that, because I'm shrinking down right now, right? So I'm a little smaller than I was. And when I wear a 3X, it feels big now. So that's why I thought of it, because I'm like, when I wear a 3X, it feels oversized.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so if you're a smaller guy, why do you want oversized clothing? You can just buy a bigger size of like our clothing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying.
No.
Like, if you weigh like 250 plus, then yeah, like a 3X is going to be tight. So you need like a 4X or a 5X. But like
this is 5.
Yeah, it looks like a dress.
Oh, so comfortable. I don't care what. It's the most comfy thing to wear and just hang out and train in. I get like hot and bothered when like your t-shirts, you like blood flow restriction training, right? So you're like constantly like just in the kitchen, you've got a crazy arm pump because the t-shirt's like fucking strapped around your arm.
No, man. Look, this is a 3X. Yeah, this is a 3X. Yeah. So, but look how loose that is. Like, it's not like
you mean look how loose it is. It's
I just trained
it's strong wrapped around your arm.
I just trained arms, so a little more tighter than normal, but like it's I don't know. Okay, I get it. Anyway, we got like I got oversized stuff coming. I got a bunch of samples coming, and you got some samples, and then we're gonna try them all on with you and Brett and Justin, and then see which one is the best.
Yeah, I know. I mean, people. I know you said, or everyone that follows you is going to like the stuff you put out, but people like them.
No, that's
it's not just me. It's not just me. Like, you know, you got trained by JP stuff, the gasp stuff. It's oversized and it does well.
No, I don't. No, I want to correct that. I don't think everybody who follows me is just going to like whatever I like. I'm saying I want the brand to be representative of what I like, but I also want to give people other things that they like. So, like, for example, like we want to do a high stim pre. I don't really like super high stim pre's. Like hostility is enough for me.
So is that going ahead?
The one you tried.
Fuck, I'm still vibing off of that.
So for people,
the last month, all of my workouts have been fueled from that one dose.
So for people watching, when we did the GASP meetup, the RBP meetup at Destination Dallas, I gave all the guys a sample of our high stim pre, and Ben was fucking like, looked like he did like an 8-ball of Coke.
we all turned into Guy.
But I think that's what my whole point is. I think people like that. And I don't, that's not my favorite thing. Like I'll use that maybe once in a blue moon just to go crazy. But like that, and like we came out with the beta alanine for the stack series. I don't really use beta alanine. I use a Pico 2. So yeah. I don't think everybody has to like what I like. I just I didn't realize how many people wanted oversized clothing. So anyway, we got some stuff coming out soon. Once we get the sample that I like, then we'll custom make it and then we'll put it out. Anyway, what's going on?
No, look, my son just took his first steps.
No way.
That's why I was a little late, like 2 or 3 minutes late, because I was recording him. He's like it's like.
Sorry, I just want to send these guys a message.
Who else is coming on?
A couple other Hosstile boys.
Yeah,
but yeah, so how old is he now? He's just over 1, right? He's like 14 months?
13 and a half, yeah. Yeah, 14, 13
so
14.
Is that late? Because do they usually take it before 1 or after 1? I don't know if babies.
It's about right. I think. I never know. I'm like, is this okay? So, he's wearing 2T clothes already, you know.
What's that?
So he's wearing like 2-year-old clothing already because he's so tall.
He's gonna be a beast.
Yeah, that's what the growth hormone I'm giving him. Actually, no, I'm not. Like, before people get fucking out of their box on that, I'm not giving him any drugs.
What do you mean?
I said it's all the growth hormone I'm giving him, but I
Oh.
realized that this is being recorded and people will freak the fuck out.
Yeah, they're gonna lose it. Samson, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Can you turn your phone for me?
Right?
Yeah.
There we go. How's that?
What is that? Team spoon or team fork?
Team fork, man.
Of course,
I don't know
right?
how anybody eats food, man. Come on.
Civilized. He's a civilized.
He's obviously got too much time on his hands. That's what it is.
I'm eating rice with a spoon, man. That's just weird.
It is weird, right?
It's efficient. Let's not start this shit again. It's efficient, all right? I'm a busy man. The shovel just goes like this.
Can I show this video? Can I show this video?
Yeah. Wait, which one? The naked one or the baby one?
The naked one.
Oh,
These first steps. Look at this.
There he goes. There he goes. Oh, he took one step.
Wait, no. This is the second bit. Yeah, this was like 5 minutes ago. And then he actually, hey,
there you go.
Oh, wow.
So now we're in real fucking trouble.
Wow.
Now now we're terrified.
Yeah. If he's walking around, you're fucked. You got to chase him around the house now.
Yeah.
Justin, what's up? Can you hear me? Oh, he's connecting audio. One sec. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. You can hear me?
Yeah.
We good? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Justin, can you tell everybody how to pronounce your last name?
Sheir.
Shire. Okay.
Sheir.
Do you get Sheir a lot?
I get Sheir constantly. Yeah, I've had it my whole life.
All right. Well, everybody's
That's
fucked
okay.
up. Everybody's fucked up my name my whole life, so it's okay.
Yeah, no problem. I'm
So
not
what's
offended.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're wearing a tight shirt.
You goddamn right. That's the only ones you sent me.
We were just talking about. Me and Ben were just talking about that before you guys logged on.
Yeah, I know. Me and Ben have been talking about it, and
Bitching about it.
Yeah. You guys, you two, Ben, Justin, and fucking Brett. I get nonstop.
Well, while we're talking about Brett,
Yeah.
I heard Brett got oversized samples.
Oh God, here we go.
I told you, I'm a
What's
snitch.
up?
I a fucking
The day I think it was the day you signed me.
Yeah.
You said welcome to the team. I said, yeah, cool. What about oversized shirts?
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
I know.
It's been a while.
I've been beating that drum.
And then Brett gets them.
Dude, I've been beating that drum for a long time, even to the point where I said I'm going to order my own, which I did. And then Brett gets the samples sent to him. I'm like, what the fuck is
this is why I love Samson. Samson's the only one who doesn't complain. He's happy. He likes all our stuff.
Hey, I'm trying to help you.
This stuff fits me great, man. I always like to fit, and I never have to worry about it, man. Just get the 3Xs and they fit me great, man.
That's what I think. And Samson weighs 290 pounds. How come he's fine with it?
They fit me okay right now while I'm skinny, but
What do you weigh? What do you weigh right now, Justin?
I'm like 230.
So for those people who don't know Justin, let's take a look real quick. This is Justin Shirer's Instagram page. If you're not following him, go follow him because he's the next big thing. And for people listening on audio, it's Justin_Shier. It's Shier. And this is the physique, dude. So this is you last year?
Yeah, that was 2020.
So it's been a dramatic change since then. So we'll show people this. These are some of my favorite shots. This was how long ago?
4.5 weeks, so a week and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Your waist is
we're right at 3 weeks out.
Your waist looks fucking great in this shot.
Yeah, that Abin thigh is very Hunter Labrada-esque.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Justin, how far out are you?
I'm 3 weeks right now. So yesterday was 3 weeks.
So what show? Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Justin. What show?
Oh, NBC Nationals.
Okay. So trying to get.
I'm gonna be there, so I'll catch you when I'll catch you winning your pro card.
Yes, sir. Bring me an oversized shirt.
I thought Justin was a pro already, dude. You already look pro ready, man. I don't even know what you're hanging around the amateurs for.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Justin,
it.
bring me an oversized shirt.
I competed for my first time in 2019, so I mean, I'm still really fresh to this.
How old are you? How old are you, Justin?
I just turned 34.
So how long have you been lifting?
Lifting. I broke my leg when I was 27, and I started lifting after that. So you always talk about getting a late start. I actually got a late start.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I was in on crutches and just trying to rehab myself at like 27. And then over the next few years, I just kind of fell in love with that and lost the passion for riding bikes. And that was my pivot point into bodybuilding.
Is that how you broke your leg? What were you doing?
I was riding my bicycle down. I was like kind of hill bombing here in town, riding my bicycle, and I ran head on into a car.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
When you
I was probably going about 40 miles an hour, 30, maybe 30 miles an hour.
When you say riding your bicycle, are you doing like that competitive, like downhill mountain biking shit?
No, like freestyle BMX.
Oh,
so like riding at the skate park or street. Yeah.
So you can do all like those tricks and shit?
Yeah. Like,
no, not anymore. No.
Yeah, not anymore. No. No.
Do you have any videos from back then?
Yeah, you'd have to scroll pretty deep, but I mean, I could maybe.
No, I'll see if I can find it. Fuck it. We're on here anyway.
It's pretty deep.
What do you weigh right here in these shots? And by the way, you look weird with this. I like the beard better. Are you keeping the beard?
Thanks, man.
Are you keeping the beard for the stage?
No. I gotta show the death face.
Are you gonna shave the head again or no?
No, I'm gonna keep a haircut. I got a decent head of hair, so I might as well show it off, right?
Keep it while you got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if I can find some BMX shit. And you're fucking strong as fuck too, eh? What is it? Is this stiff leg or is this deadlift? Regular.
That's just a regular deadlift. I'm not that strong.
What's your training philosophy? You train more like Ben and James and Ian, or are you more like a Jay Cutler?
Yeah, definitely more of a low volume, high intensity kind of guy. 1 to 2 sets per exercise.
Have you always been like that? Look at this transformation. No. Look at this transformation. What the fuck?
Yeah, so that was my first year competing in 2019, and then that was when I first got with Matt.
Can I use this as an example? I mean, this is still good genetics. Your legs look crazy, but
sure.
When people say like, "Do I have genetics for bodybuilding?" Like,
right?
You wouldn't.
I mean, you can see I still probably have 18-inch arms and
your
arms are like,
decent quads, but yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Like what I mean is like you can see genetics here. Obviously, your arms look good. Your legs are thick, but like you don't really know until you start packing on the muscle how good you're going to be.
I mean, at that point, I was not training progressively. I wasn't eating 6 meals a day. I was natural up until that point. So
how were you training originally? What changed? Did Matt change your training?
Well, no, not necessarily. I kind of made that pivot myself, and then that's kind of why I gravitated towards Matt, because that's my first show I ever did right there.
That's good. That's good for a first show, man.
Yeah. I can't get down in that pose anymore. My knees hurt too bad.
Well, you're in your 30s. That starts to happen.
I know. But no, I kind of made that pivot myself, just kind of following, the industry and following guys that I admire and seeing what they do. Yeah. And then when I decided to work with Matt, it was because I knew our training philosophies aligned.
Yeah.
And you're kind of getting into no man's land here. There you go.
There we go.
Far right.
Is that you?
Go.
Yeah, I think this was after I broke my leg.
Look at the fucking hair you had
back here. Yeah, I had a mop.
Man, I love finding this shit out. See, I would never look at your photos and be like, yeah, this guy was a fucking BMX guy. Like I would never
mullet wearing. I didn't have a mullet, but I did have long hair.
And you had a mullet too.
No, I didn't have a mullet.
That's fucking crazy, man.
But that one on the far right, I think is.
1 second.
Yeah, so this is after I broke my leg and I was trying to come back, and I actually broke my leg again. And that's when I said, fuck it.
Where did you break your leg? Like what, like how did you?
Here, keep scrolling. You'll see it. I broke my femur.
You see it
right there.
Yes.
What'd you say? Oh, this one.
Yeah. So that's the hardware that's in my femur. I had to pull that hardware out because that rod, when I would squat, was actually shearing my glute. So I could feel it in the back of my glute when I would squat deep.
Holy
so I had to have my hardware pulled out. If you go down a few posts, you'll see the actual breaks. I broke my femur in 3 places. I broke the femoral head completely off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there you go.
Holy shit.
Look at that. Great. This is good hair though, man. Look at this hair.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
You think you can grow this back?
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Samson, what do you think? Is that good?
That is good. That's from my 80s.
Thank you, Samson. Yeah. See, that's Mel Gibson, like Lethal Weapon 1. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. This is
but
crazy.
you never get bodybuilders on stage with hair like that anymore. Imagine bringing that back.
Yeah, he'd be definitely one of a kind. This is crazy, man.
Backflip.
Wow.
Good for you.
So yeah, it's pretty serious when I mean, it's kind of tough when I tell people like, hey, I broke my leg, and people don't really understand me. And I fucking broke that thing.
What are you doing here?
I did it right. I'm digging fence holes to build a fence around my farm.
Okay, can you tell people, because that's also an interesting story. Can you tell people what you do and kind of what your main job is?
So I own a cannabis business. I own a dispensary, a cannabis dispensary, and then I own a tier 2 cannabis farm as well. So vertically integrated farm.
So you and Guy,
and then I also own my wife and I own a gym.
You and Guy will get along really well.
Yeah, I don't actually smoke. Actually, I know that I'm probably gonna bum a lot of people out, but it just doesn't really work for me. I did smoke. I used to smoke, but then just as I became an adult, it just wasn't something that worked for me anymore.
Can you get high off your own supply? That's the
it's rule number 1, dude.
Can you?
No, I feel stupid when I smoke, and I get anxious, and then it blunts my appetite, and then I'm up at night thinking about stupid shit. I just can't do it.
That's what happens to me. That's why I don't smoke anymore. Samson, do you smoke?
I do smoke. Like, it happens the other way around. I chill the hell out. I mean,
I get anxiety.
That's what everybody says. Like, that's what Ian says too. Ian and Guy and Ben, you smoke from time to time, don't you?
Yeah, but I told you everything has to be perfect in my life. If there's one little notch out, my brain will focus on it and I'll freak out about it.
Yeah. And when you're in business, there's always a notch out. So you're always focused on that.
So what's the cannabis business like? Is it easy, hard?
It's good. No, I mean, it's a bitch. It's good. I mean, money's good. You know, we do really well around here. It's a big industry in my area. Yeah. But, you know, because it's not federally recognized as federally legal, I get fucked on taxes. So I'm not able to use like tax write-offs. So like the wages at my store, since I'm selling a federally illegal product, I don't get to use my wages as a write-off, my rent as a write-off, none of my advertisement as a write-off. My personal wages aren't a write-off. So, you know, I've got 6 figures in wages that they tax me on at the end of the year as if it's in my back pocket.
Jesus.
You know, so right now it's just kind of about surviving this until the, you know, legalization inevitably happens.
So how many employees do you have?
Across the dispensary and the farm, I think right now 13. And then 4 at my gym, so about 17 total.
What's the gym like? What's the name of the gym? Is there anything on the online I can see?
It's Duo Gym. Yeah, you can go back to my profile and you can go to the gym from it. I'm the one that runs that page, and I do a very poor job of it. But
is this it, Duo Gym?
Yeah.
This is your space. Oh, I've obviously seen this in your training videos.
Yeah, so that's my gym.
How big?
Yeah, all my training videos are there at my gym. The building is 10,000 square feet, but the actual gym itself is probably 5. So it's like a Halloween deadlift event that we had.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's this?
That's what it looked like when I bought it. It was a total shithole. That green carpet, and there was no gym flooring. And as you see, all the like cardio was just down, mixed in with the leg equipment, and got rowers on the ground. It was just such a mess. And then you can see, if you can scan over, like you'll see that we completely remodeled it.
So you made it a little more hardcore, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you have like is this like
That's
its own?
Wife, yeah.
This is your wife?
Yeah.
Is this its own like CrossFit area, or is this just mixed in?
That is kind of, she does CrossFit, so that is kind of a little CrossFit area that we have built up for people. So it's kind of a big open space right next to my leg area.
You're married to a CrossFitter. How does that work?
It works good. It works good. You know, she's somebody that trains, 2 to 3 hours every day and sticks to a strict diet. So she totally understands what I'm doing. It's
I was just going to say, you know what?
Uniquely compatible.
You know what, Ben?
So that's a big difference from that green piece of shit it was.
Yeah, for sure. Ben, I was just going to say, he's kind of got a good scenario. He's almost kind of got like my scenario where like the wife knows what he has to do, but she's not directly doing exactly what he's doing. Yeah. Because it's a perfect
good. I have the same thing because Denise was a pro, but she's like retired. So she's like, I get it, but I'm not bothered too much. So it's not about her. I'm allowed to be selfish.
Samson, did your wife ever compete?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, the amateurs. About 2 years. About 2 years we've been good together. Yeah.
I actually
did 2 shows now. I don't know. You know what? I find it weird when guys have like wives and they're like, oh, they're not into bodybuilding at all. They don't want to know anything about it. I'm like, man, it's like 24 hours of your life. How do you like even separate your wife? Like, how does she not?
That's like
I think that'd be very difficult.
That's like Evan's wife. I think Evan's wife is not like really involved or doesn't want to be involved and kind of stays away from the whole bodybuilding thing. That's from what I know. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's kind of the impression I always got.
I did date a girl like about maybe 5-6 years ago that wasn't into it at all, and it made it kind of refreshing.
Yeah,
because the time away from the gym was away from the gym, you know.
Yeah,
and it was like, I mean, she still like I still had all my stuff with me and food and whatever, but we had other stuff to talk about. It was just sometimes a nice respite from bodybuilding.
I think that's what Evan's thing is, because Evan doesn't like to be like pigeonholed as this fucking bodybuilding and bodybuilding only. So I think he likes that he has like a separate life from bodybuilding. The problem is, I think it takes a really strong woman and a certain type of woman to let you do what you have to do for bodybuilding if she's never done it herself.
Yeah.
Endure all the nonsense associated.
Yeah, because I think the average woman wouldn't understand the fucking selfishness that we have to exhibit, you know? So, Samson, you're a fucking Olympian, man.
Oh man, dude, you still ain't sink in yet, you know. Seriously, I'm still like, man, I can't believe this.
You won Prague. Actually, it was nice because you lost the UK.
All them guys.
No, wait a minute. But the UK, what was after the UK? It was
we had Italy, UK, so I lost
Italy,
Nathan and Rolly.
And then what was after Italy? Was that Prague?
Egypt.
Egypt.
Now goes to Regan in Egypt.
But the nice thing is you lost the shows that had less prize money and then won the one that had more prize money.
No, I won one with the least prize money.
What's that?
The Prague was one with the least prize money.
Why? I thought Prague was like 45.
The rest of them were more high. Prague was like the smallest one.
How much was Egypt?
Egypt was 15K for the winner.
Yeah, isn't Prague? I thought Prague was like 40.
Prague was 10.
Really?
Yes, Prague was 10.
Prague used to be big money like 2 or 3 years ago.
It was low.
It's probably because they had to pay me to commentate. That's anyway. Aside from the prize money, it must be nice to lose. I mean, I think the scorecard. It
must be nice to lose.
I was going to finish that. I was going to finish that sentence. I was going to say it must be nice to lose to those guys and then get it back.
It definitely was. It definitely was. I mean, the thing is, you're going from show to show, and after a while, you slowly start losing hope.
Yeah.
And for all the shows we're going to do this year, when I saw the lineup in Prague, I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to be happy if I just make top 3 here. I'll take that. I'll walk away with that.
Yeah.
At that point, your mindset is almost starting to switch the idea of, okay, I'm just going to get as many points as I can. Because it doesn't look like it's going to happen for me.
Yeah.
You start going to that mindset of, okay, I'm going to do as many shows as I can and just get as many points as I can. So when Prague came along, it was okay, if I fall in there in the top 5 somewhere, I'll get points. And that's good enough. So I was thinking, okay, hope for top 3. But then I remember the morning of the show and Milos checked in with me. Milos kind of said to me, going, I think you're going to win this show.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. All right, thanks, bro. Let's just get it over and done with, okay?
Yeah.
And even after the pre-judging, I still didn't know, because you saw Steve, he was mixing us up like
went around with a whole bunch of different spaces.
I didn't know if I was 4th or if I was 3rd, or I literally didn't know where I was. So when we went back to the hotel, and we kind of think, okay, what do we do now to come back to the finals? Milos said, you're fighting for 1st place, but I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't seem like it because of the way it mixed up. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So don't do anything. And do you know what's funny? When the pre-judging and finals are so far apart, like 4 hours apart.
Yeah.
You sit there and go, okay, we'll just go back to your hotel room and relax. Do you know how hard it is to sit there and relax between things, especially when things are that hectic and that close? And I remember you literally sit there, you're thinking, okay, I don't want to touch anything because it's perfect. So we literally laid in bed and I was looking at the ceiling for almost 4 hours just thinking, don't move, I must. Don't do anything.
Don't expend any glycogen.
You check yourself in the mirror again and you go, it's still there. Okay, go back to bed and just lay there and don't do anything.
Fuck, Samson. Samson, I think me and you are exactly the same. Because you're right. I think it's the when you think you've won, when you're, because if you were like 4th, you wouldn't be that crazy. But when you think you've won, you get. I remember in between prejudging and night show, John would have to tell me like umpteen times, "Don't fucking eat anything. Don't. You're full enough. You're dry. Just lay there." And I would do the same. I do the same thing you do. Every 10 minutes, I'd be like, "Am I still shredded? Am I still shredded?" I'm like, look in the fucking mirror and then go back and lay down. Yeah.
And it's so stressful, man. It's so stressful because I think if you know you're in like second quarter or anything else, you'd be like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just gonna eat and start enjoying myself now. And you don't really put that much effort into it. But when you're fighting right there for top spot, you literally go back and you're literally going, okay, your mind is going up and down, left and right, and everything else. I remember I didn't turn my phone on. I was like, look, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to hear anything. I just want to sit here and just try to just stay focused on, or even focus on anything else but this. You know. And that's the most, I think that's the point, because you're so in that zone and you're also tempted to do something to be better. Yeah. But the idea of just staying there and doing absolute nothing, just relax and just stay there.
That was always my problem. That was always my problem, is I wanted to do something to be better. And it would end up backfiring on me somehow. So when they're calling the placings and they call Nathan fourth, are you at that? Because Nathan was your main, obviously the main challenge for you all year. So when they call Nathan fourth, are you sure you're going to win at this point? Or are you still just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on?
Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you what my mind was basically at that point. When they called him fourth, I was shocked. I was like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking, hey, if I get placed that night, at least I got to beat him.
Well, after he beat you like a whole bunch of fucking times.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. I finally beat him. That's all I care about. After that point, I was like, okay, hell, I'll take that. You know?
Yeah. So when they called Regan and Rafael, and they call you first, and you hit the ground. Is that explain?
It literally felt like that moment, because we've always been close. We've got some second, third for so many shows. So every time you get that spot, you always think, okay, you got the point where you just think, yeah, I know, I'm going to be second again. Here we go. And you're always used to that point where they call you out second. You always you almost start getting accustomed to that feeling of, okay, you're close, but not quite make it. You're close, but not quite make it. So that moment when they call you out, it just literally feels like every single thing you've done to that point, every single struggle, every single doubt, every single weight upon your shoulders, everything you've had up to that point just got taken off.
Yeah.
And it almost like it flashes before your eyes and it just is crushing. And you just feel like, wow. And it feels like for once, someone let the air back in the room again and you can breathe.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming. That feeling was definitely, I remember that feeling forever, man. It was that overwhelming.
How big was your celebration meal that night?
Oh, man.
Did you pick out?
Tell us all about
it. Justin's dieting. He's like, tell me everything you ate.
Oh, man. You got to go all out. You have to go all out, man. Keep the bag, the bottle, the beer, everything. Like, enjoy it.
Justin, when you're this close, I find myself like, I don't talk about food, but if somebody starts talking about food, it ends up being like a 5-minute conversation because you're so hungry.
Oh yeah. People want to know why I'm watching these fucking food eating challenges while I'm doing my cardio. It's the only thing that can actually keep my attention. Like if I put on anything else, if I put on a show, I don't pay attention. I wander, I drift, I'm playing on my phone. But if I put on those food challenges, I actually lock in. I think there's something satisfying, sorry to cut you off, about knowing these guys are miserable while eating all this food. So I think that helps.
I'm the same as you, Justin, where if I'm watching a show or something, a film, I'm clock watching.
Yeah.
My brain is only obsessed with how much longer I've got left.
Yeah.
But when I've done the whole watching the food challenges thing, and you're right, it does. Your eye doesn't just straight to the clock.
It's the only thing you actually pay attention to.
I can't do it. So my thing is the news, because the news is fast. It's like, they'll do like a 5-minute story of something in the news and they'll go to the next story. So I can do that, but I can't watch a movie and I can't watch a show. But the food stuff I did one year. I remember specifically the 2012 Arnold. I'm like, you know what? Because I had friends that were doing it. I'm like, I'm going to try this. So I would go on Pinterest and look at food, and I would watch food challenges. I'd watch the Food Network. That was the worst prep of my life. I've never been so hungry and angry at the same time. So I promised myself I would never do it again. I'm like, I'm not I can't. Fuck that.
Yeah, I always end up following like stupid food pages and then ordering cookies and brownies and stupid. And then I have a freezer full of this stuff that I know I'm going to eat.
You're not
2 cookies, and I'm never going to finish it. I'm going to get back on plan after the show.
I did
I'm going to have the weekend after the show. Then I'm going to just get back on plan. And I still have my cookie dealer cookies from my last show last year that were sitting in the freezer.
Yeah, Justin, which one do you have more craving for after the show? Do you crave more sweet stuff or more savory stuff?
Oh, probably sweet right now. Yeah. But I want a burger and some fries. That's what I've been wanting.
Really?
But I gotta have a milkshake with that or something.
Yeah. Fred's so offended you didn't say pizza. Like so upset. Like, what the fuck you mean? No pizza?
Well, because burger and fries like a standard cheat meal, so you've probably been having it all prep long, right? So it's
no, I haven't had any. I mean, anytime I've eaten more food, it was just more of the same food.
Oh, you haven't had any?
No cheats. He's just giving me high days.
Okay.
So
I wonder
a lot of rice.
Do you guys know if he does that for everybody, or because I think Nick gets some cheats here and there.
Yeah, I think Nick was doing like a
breakfast stuff. He was doing
like a breakfast stuff. Yeah. But Nick's just a different person.
Yeah, he's fucking nuts.
I think Brett said he was getting some Five Guys here and there, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know.
Brett is also different.
It's nice to know that he does something different for everybody, though, because that's I think the mark of a good coach.
Well, there for a while, he was in the beginning. He would on my high days, he would have me add a bagel to each meal.
Yeah,
which was nice. But then he says we're not going to load you on bagels, so let's pull the bagels and just up the rice.
Well, one thing I can say is you're in good hands because Matt has seemed to like hit the mark.
Yeah,
with everybody in every show. Like I can't remember. I don't know, Ben, if you can help me, but I don't remember the last time Matt coached somebody and I was like, oh yeah, that guy's off a little bit.
Matt's been having a hell of a run. He's nailing.
Yeah, not anyone of note, I'm sure he has some amateur guys and whatever else that are hit and miss, and I actually said this to them.
That might have something to do with the adherence to the plan from the amateur guys.
That's true too, yeah.
I'm not bagging on Matt at all. I know
what you're saying though.
I made a point of going up to Matt after the Olympia and I shook his hand and I said, look, as a coach, I respect how consistent you are at peaking your guys, because that's the thing I've noticed in the last 18 months. He started with Sean, then Nick, and then Brett. I'm like, and it's not even like Brett to peak Sean, it's the same animal, right?
Yeah.
Brett was coming into a show, everything's an unknown quantity because he's a different body now. It changes. Like for people that don't know, that's a whole different situation that Brett's doing.
Guy just put on 20 pounds of tissue.
Having to carb that up, it's a whole different situation. So,
and that's the most impressive part is the peak. Like, there's a lot of coaches out there. Even like I don't consider myself a coach, but even me, if I grab somebody, I can get anybody shredded. But it's landing the plane at the fucking end, like that last week or the last 3 or 4 days. Like Matt seems to have a really, really good formula for that because his guys they're not only shredded and dry, but they have a full. Everything seems to be like at the top level, like the fullness, the dryness, the conditioning, everything is like across the board. Yeah.
I was going to book an Airbnb in Orlando and he made sure I didn't. He wanted me at the host hotel because he's going to be at the host hotel. And he says he wants to look at me after every meal for, the first 3 days leading up. So, I mean, I think that's where Matt really, puts in the effort and tunes things in.
I think it's another interesting point that I think a lot of people, like casual fans of the sport, might not realize is, when they say somebody shows up on stage and they're off and they're like, that guy's a professional, why isn't he on? And I don't think a casual fan realizes that like Matt wants to look at you after every meal because your physique can literally change after each meal. Yeah. So when somebody shows up off, like at a show on Saturday, it could be because they weren't lean enough, or it could be because something just went wrong the day before. Like that's how tricky it is, especially when you get a guy who weighs 250, 60, 70 pounds. So the bigger the body, and Ben, I don't know if you can attest to this, but the bigger the body, the harder it is to land the fucking plane perfectly,
100%. Traveling is an issue. Sometimes you carry water from traveling, sometimes stress. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into this.
Yeah.
Last year when I flew into USA's, I flew in and I carried about 3 pounds of water from when I landed. And I didn't lose that water till after prejudging.
Really?
I held on to it the whole time. Like I didn't pee. And then between prejudging and night show, I pissed like fucking 15 times.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
Samson, so you win, you get the Olympia qualification, and then you decide to do another show.
Oh yeah.
And then you fucking lose to Rafael. Are you upset, or you're like, I don't give a shit? This was
Must feel good to lose.
Honestly, I wasn't upset at all because like I said, remember it got to the point where we were just trying to get points, isn't it? So I already had Romania already booked in. I already had the flights paid for. I had the hotel paid for. It was the week after. So we finished Prague. I remember finishing Prague, and Milos is always the advocate. Do more shows. Yeah, next one.
Yeah.
So we came off Prague, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's me. I'm done, man. Chill. And he's sitting there going, "You got to Romania. He's already around there. You're already in shape. You already paid the flights. What are you doing?"
True.
So we sat there, and I was like, okay, I'll find out. We'll think about it tomorrow. So the next morning wakes up, and he's like, okay, so the plan. This is your plan for the diet for Romania. And I'm like, hold on. I haven't decided I'm doing the show yet. What are you doing? But we start looking and go, like, you know what? Hell, we got nothing to lose. Man. The chance to pick up on some more checks. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah. I was shocked. Somebody said that Rafael weighs 253 on stage. Remember we were talking about it then? And we were talking about, I feel really stupid now because we were saying, well, Rafael might be able to make classic and whatever. And I'm like,
how tall is Rafael?
I guess is he same height as you, Samson?
I think he's slightly short.
Yeah.
I think he's literally slightly short. But you know what? The thing is, people don't seem to understand, like, these guys, when you look at it on the screen and you watch on the screen, it really doesn't show you the density and how big these dudes are face to face. I could stand there. When we have the screen on stage, I can stand there and see these guys in front of my face and go, holy crap. And then I'll turn and I'll look up at the screen and I look at going, that really isn't showing anything. Like, I'm seeing right here.
Yeah.
So it's really night and day. You have to stand there to realize how big. Like Regan, when they were saying about Regan, he needs to come down to class or he needs to make weight.
No.
Regan is a big dude.
Regan is a big.
That dude did come down to class.
The problem with Regan is Regan's got such a big structure. He needs that much more muscle to fill it out, but he's got a very, very big structure as like a person. Because he's tall and wide. The thing about Rafael that threw me, because I know how big everybody is, like I've been around everybody, but Rafael, I think, throws me off because his lines are so perfect that you can't really tell how, because usually when a guy looks like that, you think they're smaller. I wouldn't think somebody with those lines weighs 253. You know what I mean? Like that's
Well, he really does. He really is. I think he must be about 5'10" or 5'9" because I know he's really shorter than me.
Yeah. Cool. So Ben's kid took his first steps.
Amazing.
That's the biggest news Ben's got going on.
That's cool.
Got something else. Oh, Ben's helping somebody with the Arnolds, but we're not gonna let that cat out.
I'm not helping.
We're not helping, but just doing some.
I'm really not helping.
I think you are. You just not coaching, just helping. Right?
No, I don't view it as that at all, and that's
Ben's too humble to say. So we'll leave.
Male or female?
All right, let's do some questions. You guys want to do some questions?
Yeah,
sure. All right. Okay. I don't know what these are like. I don't know if they're going to be normal. Like, Chris Gronkowski says best shaker bottle. He owns Ice Shaker.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys like Ice Shaker? Oh, he's got one. I think that may be the best shaker after our Big Mouth jug.
That's not shaker.
Yeah, that's not a shaker. It's a jug. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah,
it's still better.
I'll go Ice Shaker. Anybody got a different preference? No.
I'm a big fan of them.
I got a Star Wars shaker cup I got at Walmart.
Are you a comic book guy?
No,
you just like.
I like Star Wars.
Wait, Justin's just offended one half the bodybuilding community by saying he doesn't smoke weed, and now he's done the other half by saying he's not a comic book guy.
It's probably the same half.
I should just log off now. Hey, I grow weed and sell weed. That's cool.
Yeah, he gets a huge bonus for that, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't. It's a business. It's a business decision to not.
If you could remove literally anything from the sport of bodybuilding, what would it be?
Oh, man.
Justin?
Genre. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
No, okay, well, that's a given. Other than that, Ben?
But Fouad's working on that one anyway.
Ben, anything? Samson?
Probably the trolling part of it, man, because that part always seems to be like one thing that just seems to coincide with bodybuilding right now, man.
But I think that
that's half the fun of it.
I think that coincides with every sport, though. I think the other sports, the difference is, I think the other sports, like if you play professional football, you're not on Instagram talking to the fans because you don't give a shit because you're getting paid millions of dollars to play the game, not interact with fans. So I'm sure some interact with fans, but I don't think they really give a shit who likes them or not likes them, especially when there's 80,000 people watching a game. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say that player shit or this player shit. I think with bodybuilding, it's such a small community and we have to interact with all our fans that we probably hear it more. You know what I mean?
I would remove the social media aspect. Like you said, an athlete gets to focus on being an athlete and performing, right?
Okay.
That's in other sports, that's all they have to do. It seems like in ours, part and parcel of making a living out of it is you have to do
there would have to be a different way to monetize the sport if that was the case.
Yeah, you can't remove social media from the sport because I feel like it's grown it a lot more.
No, it has, but that's because it's grown it because there wasn't the money in the first place. It was our way of monetizing things and be able to create a living from it. Not just at the very, very top, like the top guys, for the whole.
But I think, money comes from eyeballs, and more people watch social media than actually watch the shows. So basically what you're saying, Ben, is you wanted to go back to like the 2000s when there was just magazines and that's how people got like guys could just train in bodybuild and people get information from magazines.
I mean, look, I think the pressure and the mentality that athletes and bodybuilders have to deal with, all the other shit going on right now, it like Sam said, it's a rough time. Like you get the trolls and then people's expectations, and then it's also like you said, if you're LeBron James, you don't interact with a fan on a DM, right?
Yeah.
But we're expected. You guys are expected to, and it's almost like people will get offended if you don't reply to them or you're not engaging with them, and it's like, because even that, like, I'm not a pro bodybuilder, but I have a fucking busy life.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to do my actual job and my family life and train. And then what am I supposed to allocate 3 or 4 hours a day to sit on social media and answer all my DMs? It's a lot. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's another facet that maybe other professional athletes don't have to deal with.
You're right. I probably spend an hour or two a day answering DMs or responding to
telling people what your split is.
Comments, yeah.
And where you get your oversized shirts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to romanticize the idea of not having social media, but it also gives us a huge outlet. And I don't think if it was taken from us, I think we'd all suffer.
I personally like it, man. I
enjoy it. And I actually enjoy the ability to have a broader reach and talk to people and genuinely help people. I mean, some people are annoying and we have to have boundaries.
Yeah.
But
that's what I mean. You have to manage your boundaries with it and your own.
Absolutely. Handle things diplomatically, but have boundaries.
Yeah, but and even because I remember early on, my wife would just be like, "Okay, enough now."
Yeah.
Right. Because I when I first started out, I'm like, "Look, I have to answer everybody. Everyone's taking the time to." Yeah, I'm like, I can't answer.
Yeah, but man, some questions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll make a post about, back training or something. And I maxed out my caption the other day about back training to explain exactly what I'm doing. I mean, I put everything I could.
Yeah.
And I still got, 25 more questions in my DMs about back training.
Yeah. You'll never escape. There's no such, I'll tell you this, there in any facet of bodybuilding, there is no such thing as a perfect post. You're always going to offend someone. Someone will always say something stupid. And there's always going to be added questions. So I've tried that. I've been like, this post is perfect. Nobody can say anything. There's always something.
I don't mind. I don't mind people asking questions. What I do mind is them asking questions that they can just Google really easily.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I mind when they're asking a question that's actually it's already answered in the caption. because that to me
I always
says,
screenshot the caption and narrow it down to exactly what I said and then send that to them.
because that to me
Oh,
says,
you waste way too much time.
oh yeah, you're wasting too much time too.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think what bothers me is if you make a post about training and then they message you and just want to know what orals you took pre-workout.
Anyway, okay, what I would remove from pro bodybuilding. I would make. I know
what your answer is.
Okay, say it and see if you're right. Everybody gets a pizza after each show.
No.
After each training session.
Butthole check-ins.
But no more bare ass check-ins.
Yeah, I had a guy send me some check-ins the other day. Asked me how he was looking. Yeah, and they were naked check-ins, and I had to tell him, dude.
Yeah, put some fucking underwear on. I can tell how shredded you are.
No naked check-ins. Yeah.
That's the part. See, Ben.
He promised me he wasn't a weirdo.
You dick has veins on it.
He seems like a perfectly nice guy. It wasn't the dude. I don't think he is a weirdo, but you know, I don't know you. Don't send me pictures of your naked ass, dude.
Yeah.
And with a cock sock on.
I wasn't gonna say that. That is one of them though. No, I was gonna say more seriously. I think promoters should have to be uniform across the board, like what they do. Like their lighting should be uniform. Stage settings should be uniform. Like it's kind of like a football field. The football field in NFL has certain dimensions, has to have the lines a certain way, like has to be kept a certain length. Like I think bodybuilding should be the same way. The stage should have to be a certain. Standardized. Yeah, everything. The stage should have to be a certain size. The lighting should be done by the same. It's like UFC. If UFC goes to any country or any fucking venue, it always looks the same. And I think if I was going to change anything about bodybuilding, the top of the federation would have to mandate that if you're going to promote a show, these are the standards that your show has to have. You have to use this lighting, these lighting people, or somebody that they recommend. Stage has to be a certain size. Prejudging has to have a black drape. No fucking lighting behind the athletes at prejudging. XYZ, whatever. Like, and it has to run this way. Men first, bikini last, blah blah blah. Like all those. That's important.
The whole running order, because in the UK, when I was competing in the UK, it was different. It was the opposite way around.
Yeah.
So you'd have all the bikini girls and men's physique guys going on first, and then you got the super heavyweights on at the very end, and you're like, you know how fucking hard it is to peak and nail that guy to the wall. Yeah. And you're last on, and now we don't know whether it's going to be 11:30 or 12:30 or because you're running late.
Because like I promote shows, so I know like fitness goes out first because the fucking stage doesn't have any oil on it or anything, so they won't slip and fall on their face. Then after fitness, it's bodybuilding because those motherfuckers are dehydrated. They're sitting back there, and then so anyway, I just think a more standardized, the way the show runs, the way the show's set up, all those things. If they standardize it across the board, I think then people wouldn't complain because. Like if you look at Texas this year, when Ian competed in Texas, that fucking show was incredible. The backdrop, the lighting, the stage, but then you look at another show and the lighting sucks. It's dark, like you can't see any of the athletes. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would elevate the sport a little bit if we did that. Okay. Your thoughts on why European athletes aren't so good as the rest of the world's athletes? That's a shot at you, Samson.
No, I don't think that at all. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this way. I did European shows this year, and I did shows in Egypt as well. And I can tell you this right now. I was shocked at the level of standard these guys were bringing to the show.
Europeans?
I was shocked. Yeah. I was looking at them. I'm thinking, where the hell did you guys come from? Yeah. And I don't know if it's because of the language barrier or the ability to travel, whatever. That's why they don't get seen more. But honestly, maybe because it's hard to pronounce their names or whatever. But believe me, guys, there's so many good ones.
I do recall watching some of the European shows. I think me and Ben touched on it at one point. There was a couple where the guys were all in shape. Like not all, but top 5, 6, all in shape, all shredded glutes, all very dry. So maybe it's because they just don't get as much press, so people subliminally don't think they're as good.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. Because I spoke to some of the guys like backstage, and I tell them, like, you're looking great. Why don't you go out to compete in the States and stuff like that? And they just, I don't know, for some reason, I think maybe it's language barrier or whatever. They just don't understand it, and they just don't see. They feel like the show should come to them. They don't really travel that much or anything like that for whatever reason. But I think if most of these guys come up and do shows like New York or whatever, they'll get noticed a lot more.
But maybe
people look at where the hell they come from, but they really are that good guys up here.
Maybe it's a chicken and the egg thing, because like I can say coming from Canada, even though I'm part of North America, like it's still different. Like one of my regrets in my career was I never did the New York show. But I always felt like New York was like for the New York boys, Juan, John De La Rosa, fucking, all these guys, all those guys. So like Evan. So I never did New York because I'm like, man, those guys are going to get looked at first, which is probably a stupid thing to think, but that's why. So I'm wondering if maybe the European guys think the same thing. They're like, well, I don't want to go over there. I'm not going to get a fair look. So I'll compete in the European show.
I think they probably do, because I think they probably just think that, it costs them a lot more to fly over to the States to compete.
That's right.
They're probably just going to overlook. They probably don't get their look in because nobody can pronounce it. They don't even know who the hell they are coming in there. They probably think, well, financially, it's way too much of a sacrifice for what they're going to get in return. So they probably think, well, I'd rather stick to shows that are close to me and I don't spend so much for it.
Yeah.
But I can tell you now, man, if them guys they really do need to get more looked at, because what the level of competition I saw, like it was Romania, there was like 26 guys on there. They were all Europeans. We were backstage and I was looking going, holy crap. Like you were expecting to see like, you probably think 26 guys, that people don't know much about. They're probably not going to be able to stand it. But I was looking at it going, holy, these guys are peeled to the bone.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, wow, what the hell? Like, seriously, you might not have the best shape or whatever, best structure, but them guys were peeled.
Yeah. What are you going to say, Ben?
I was just going to say to you, man, like, if that is the mentality, I don't see that being the case, though, because surely the end goal for all of these guys is to win a show and do the Olympia. Yeah. So not competing in America because they're not going to get a look in, to me, doesn't make much sense, because...
Well, but think about it. If you can, it's like Samson said, it's going to cost me 2 or 3 times the amount of money to fly somewhere where I might not get looked at, or I can keep doing the European shows where it's cheap for me to go there and I have a better chance of winning or racking up more points to get to the Olympia.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the right strategy. I'm just saying that might be why they think that.
I think in the current climate, it's more a travel issue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that's the biggest thing. But a couple of years ago, I'm saying, like, get across and get seen.
Yeah, the thing is, like, okay, so I agree with you, right, Ben? Like, you have to get across and get seen, and that's how you get known. It's almost like, remember the pay your dues thing? Everybody has to pay their dues. Yeah. It costs a lot more to pay your dues when you're coming from Europe, right?
Yeah.
Paying $2,000 for a flight, paying for a fucking hotel, paying for all, it's just a bigger deal. And then not to get looked at, you're like, fuck, man, I could just do Spain. It's right there. It cost me a couple $100 to go to. Yeah. So
I remember most of these guys, most of them, they don't speak or read English either. Yeah. So the idea of actually flying on the States, they probably half the time probably just don't even know the process of it. Like that. And, if they don't know someone's done it or they haven't done it, themselves. Yeah. They probably don't even know aware of the process of actually getting States.
I just know there's a stigma. If you live outside the US, there's a stigma of I'm not going to get the same look as the US guys. And you can even hear it when Dorian Yates talks about the first time he came to New York. The first time Dorian Yates said he came to New York, he was like, I don't know how I'm going to do. And people said I couldn't beat the Americans and blah, blah. Like that's a stigma that's always been there because the American guys are always the best bodybuilders. So I don't think as many Europeans try and break that barrier. How to hit on your gym crush. Justin, did you meet your girl in the gym or no?
No.
Was she how long have you been together?
6 years.
Was she CrossFitting when you met her?
She was powerlifting when I met her.
Yeah. So she was already involved.
We actually randomly met at the bar.
Oh, and then when you met at the bar, you started talking about working out?
Yep. It worked out perfect. You're like, she came in, she had big, thick legs, and I started talking about training and squatting, and I knew she went to a gym that in our area, and I was like somewhat familiar with their programming because I had buddies over there, and I mentioned something about I asked her if she had box squats to do in the morning because they just fucking those people are just always doing box squats. Sure enough, she had box squats in the morning.
Those people. But, so you wait a minute. You said something. So you saw her walk in, and she had big, thick legs, and that was the attraction.
Yeah.
Ben, have you ever looked at a girl and thought she's got thick legs? I got to talk to her.
It was like they were like clear. I work out my heavy squat legs.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm a little.
So.
I'm not. I don't chase the thickness, do I? I'm not really.
No, you're not a thickness guy.
I'm not a thick guy. So
I mean, yeah.
You gotta
Samson,
be a
you're
thickness guy.
Samson, you're not.
I think maybe you guys are misinterpreting the thickness. She's just has muscular, not
shape.
Well, we're not saying.
No,
No.
Shitty thickness. We're talking about real thickness.
Yeah.
Like
We know what you mean. We're not thinking fat. No, we're not thinking fat. So Samson, are you a thickness? You're not a thickness guy either.
Oh, I'm a thickness. Oh, of course, I'm a thickness guy.
Yeah, okay, good.
You see
Yeah,
my skin? I'm a thickness guy.
Your girl's not thick, is she? Is your girl
Of course
thick?
she is.
Oh, I didn't. I've never.
We met in the team, man. We met in the team. Same thing, man. You saw the thickness. She walked past you. You look back. You're like, okay. I don't know what I do. I gotta get with that. You know what? Best thing to do, right? You know, guys always go up and ask girls, "Oh, do you need a spot?" Nah, ask them to spot you.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I know you're busy right now, but can you just give me a hand with this real quick? You know, just real quick.
Samson, you're a fucking genius. That's
And then
true.
you get to thank them and be diplomatic and friendly.
Oh, yeah.
So when I
And then
oh man,
Yeah.
that's so good.
That's great.
I never thought of that. I was such a meathead. When I was younger, I'd be like, "Hey, do you want a spot?" And she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
and
is
then
this
you come
meathead?
off as vulnerable.
What is me doing now?
Mhm.
And then you come
gotta
when
do
you
the other
ask
way around, man.
when
You
you
know,
ask
I
them
don't-
when you ask
yeah.
them when you ask them if they need a spot, you come off as like an asshole. But if you ask them to spot
Then
then
it's
you're
toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but you have to be tactical. You can't like put 7 plates on a squat and get buried at the bottom. That will fucking help then.
I gotta watch it right here. Just stand behind me. That's it. Get up close.
so okay. I you know what? I agree with Samson. That's the best one I've ever heard. No one's ever
Right.
said that.
Yeah,
Anybody-
that's smart.
Is there any other way, Samson? I'm gonna tell you're the expert.
Oh, man. I know for what now. If you get them spotting you could easily start asking a question about, "Oh, so what do you train? What are you training today?" No, if you ever need a help from me to spot you out, definitely.
Yeah, then you can offer the spot back because you've already asked.
Exactly.
That's
You
right.
see, they've already helped you out. Now you feel obligated to help them back. So you're like,
Fucking
since you
Samson,
helped me out,
where were you when I was 20? It would have helped me a lot fucking to know this.
That's how you end up in the friend zone, Samson.
No.
And you guys are just buddies.
Oh yeah.
Now
Then
you
what
help me
if?
spot, I feel like I gotta pay you back. You wanna
He's
go
so
out with
nice.
me?
Yeah. What if you just
how
end up
many-
being? What if you
How
just
many
put
of those guys have you seen though? How many of those have you seen those like hot girls in the gym and they've got their like gym bro that they train with that are never
yeah.
gonna get a look?
No.
Never gonna get a look.
Mhm. That's the thing.
No, don't do the
That's
gym bro
Samson.
thing, man. Do the I'm
Getting
new
spotted
to
on
this
tricep
thing.
press down.
Do the gym bro thing.
See, Samson, Justin's right. If you get them to spot you and then you spot them back, you might end up being just a friendly gym bro.
You come off as beta. And
No. The thing is, you got to know how to back off.
You might be a beta, like you said, like Justin said, you might be a beta. You might be a beta. You'd be like, oh yeah.
You got to find them on Instagram and then you scroll down a bit and like 2 photos.
No, but then you seem creepy because you're
Don't
like,
do that.
why?
I'm kidding. That's the best of worst for me.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, you're like a photo from like a year ago. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's been trolling through.
Spot them across the gym and
Yeah, wait. But if you do that, there's no question what your
sure
motive
your
is.
intentions are.
You
Yeah.
fully put it out there. You're
Do you
done, like,
follow
it's
them
out there.
first or do
And
you
it-
just like the photos and no follow?
Go through if you follow.
Wait, I want to know.
Ben.
Ben's the man here, so we got to listen to Ben's strategy. He's the promiscuous one.
You go.
That's
You wait for a reciprocation.
Yeah.
Then you follow like a
Then
few
you
more,
follow.
and then you're done. Then it's
And then there's a DM.
How many?
yeah.
Wait, I want to know something. How many reciprocations of likes before you send a DM?
Well, you do a couple, and then you wait for.
You have to respond to something on the story. You don't just DM. You have to respond to something that's relatable.
The story really still like that cements. But I make sure that they're following back first. Then you go into the story, and then you start that mode.
So you DM.
Once you reply to a story and you're in the DM, then it's then it's here.
Okay. Now that's the trick. So people who send direct DMs are creepy, but if you respond to a story, now you're in the DMs by accident.
But you have to wait. You have to follow. You have to follow the process. You have to go through the likes first, the follow back.
Yeah.
Then you can enter into the DM.
Don't go viewing her story if you guys don't follow each other.
Yeah, she doesn't
That's
follow
crazy.
you and you're DMing her. She's just like,
Yeah,
no.
no.
You're going in. You're going up and grabbing ass at the bar without saying hello.
Okay. So let's summarize. You have to get a like and response. Then you have to follow, get a follow and response. Then you can comment on a story and get in the DMs.
Best case scenario, she follows after the like.
Yeah.
Well, best case scenario, she follows you first with no likes. Then you're in.
Okay, yeah, because then she's creeping on you.
Yeah.
And the time matters, because if it's within like a few hours, you're good. But if it's stretching across like a few days, and she might like.
What's the time frame though? If you see her at the gym, when do you find her on Instagram? You can't do that in the gym parking lot, right?
No.
Wait till the next day. Or
a few hours. I would do
it. A 3 to 4 day period after you guys see each other in the gym a few times.
Within 24 hours. So if it's the next morning, the next morning is ideal, because she's vulnerable. She's just waking up. She's not busy doing her day yet. So you catch her when her alarm's just going off, and she's like, oh, and then you're like at the top, because everyone checks their Instagram at the beginning of the day, right? Regardless.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So catch her then. If you do it in the middle of the day, she's out with friends, she's busy, she's laughing and ignoring you.
Yep.
Okay, but wait a minute. I have a scenario. What if you see her at the gym like Sunday, right? You're working out midday, you see her Sunday. And then Monday morning or Sunday
night. Sunday night.
Fine, Sunday night. What if you just did this? What if Sunday night you just send her a message and say, hey, saw you at the gym today. I didn't even know you went to my gym.
Creep. Fuck you.
Too much.
See how out of touch I am?
You're out of touch, dude.
Because I'm 43. I don't know the rules.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Okay. All right. We'll stick with the original rules.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. You just helped the whole. You and Samson just helped.
We are all in relationships.
Oh yeah, that's true though. That's true.
I don't. Can you talk about blood work results and liver kidney levels for athletes? What is the norm for competitive athlete? The reason I don't want to go into this is because none of us are doctors, and I don't want people to go by our numbers. Like, I don't want people to get their blood work and go by what we said was normal. So please, the best advice I can give everybody is get your blood work done, listen to your doctor, let him tell you what's normal, what's good, what's not good. Don't just ask your gym bro or your fellow podcaster to give you blood work advice on what's healthy and what's not. Usually if you get blood work done, any doctor will sit you down, whether they're a hormone doctor or not. They'll tell you what's healthy and what's not. And it's always good to get a second or third opinion. If your doctor's not familiar with training or steroids or, the extra muscle that we carry, they might be freaking out about a number that's not necessarily something to freak out about. So if you want, the best thing to do is see a sports doctor so they're familiar with the hormones you're taking or the muscle size and the difference it's going to show in your blood work and things like that. But I don't think, do you guys agree? I don't think it's good for us to give numbers or anything, right? So let's I don't want to skip it. I just want to say, just listen to your doctor. What is the official Fouad weight limit to be allowed to grunt for each of the 3 big lifts? we covered this on a separate. We covered this
on the bar.
I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys a story real quick. So, on a previous podcast, Ben was on. Somebody said, "Is it a privilege to grunt?" And I said no. And then eventually they all came around and agreed that you can't be benching like 1 plate and grunting, because it's not. Yeah. It's not like enough to need a grunt.
Yeah. You got to earn the right to grunt, man. You can't just be lifting, because I've seen that so many times in the gym, and there's that loud grunt that the whole gym can hear. You look over, and the guy's got like 2 plates on there. You're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, seriously? And so you got to earn the privilege, man. You got to learn over a certain amount before.
It's one thing, even the 2 plates. If the 2 plates isn't heavy, why are you grunting?
Well, no, but they were
relative.
What they were saying was, if it's a younger kid and 2 plates is his max, and he's like maxed out at 6 reps and he's grunting on the 5th or 6th rep, is that allowed?
I'd say so. If you make a little bit of noise on the 5th or 6th rep of your
a little bit of noise is, well, wait a minute, now we have to decide what's an acceptable noise. Threshold. Yeah, because what James played Dorian Yates doing leg press. So if you're so if you're grunting like Dorian Yates, that's a fucking privilege.
Yeah, you earn that.
If you're just making a grunt, like that's not anybody can do that. Like I do that. Just sometimes I make those noises for the fuck of it.
We all know the dickheads in the gym. I don't, that make unnecessary noises.
So there are certain lifts though that when you're
I make a lot more noise on a hack squat than I do an incline barbell.
Right, even if you're doing 10 reps, the first 1 or 2 are still fucking, it's a lot of weight regardless. Whereas even if I do a 10 rep on a bicep curl, only the last 2, I might well, I'm probably not on a bicep curl, but you know what I mean? Like
no, but I'll make little noises here and there, and anybody can do that. That's, I think if you're, when I think grunt, I think like Dorian Yates on the leg press, that kind of
what about Ronnie though? What about Ronnie where he's like, yeah, buddy, on a warm-up set, yeah, buddy, like, is that allowed?
If you're
do you think he did that every set, even when the cameras weren't on? Do you think that was just him all the time, or do you think?
Have you seen him training now?
I think it's him all the time.
He's gonna pull down. He's like 15 reps with it. Yeah.
That's just like passion shining through. That's not like he's not peacocking. He's
okay. So let me ask you that: is there a privilege for that? Like if you saw, let's say you saw a 150-pound guy about to deadlift 1 plate, and he's like, "Yeah, buddy, lightweight."
Okay, so if you're a 150-pound guy and you're about to deadlift 1 plate, you're not passionate. You haven't earned that yet. You're not at a place where
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Look, Ronnie can walk around with his dick out for like I
totally agree. I prefer that he would.
I think Justin just touched on what I was trying to say. It's not about a privilege to grunt. It's like
you're not there yet, dude.
When you've done enough. Like when you've put in enough time, you're grunting for a different reason than when you're starting out and you're just trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I'll tell you guys the truth. So I can recall starting out. My level of cockiness went like this after like a year, and then I got humbled.
It's never come back down. No, don't lie. It's never come back down. It's still going.
No, but like, because you guys remember, like when you're a little asshole and you fucking see a vein, you're like, oh, right. Now you start wearing tank tops every day.
And you wear like tight t-shirts.
Yeah. I did that.
You're still doing that.
No, this is not tight. This is not tight.
Ben told me that you want to be able to do occlusion training in your shirts.
I did.
I told you.
Sorry,
talking.
I'm gonna tie it off. No, listen. So what I'm trying to say is like that cocky dickhead that I was. That kid was grunting because he thought that's what you're supposed to do. Because I would see the bigger guys doing it, and then I stopped. And then I kind of like Justin said, I kind of started to earn the right to grunt, and it was more real because it came through with passion and effort instead of just this is what I'm supposed to sound like when I train. I think
you're okay. You're okay with a kid if he's in the gym and there's no one else around. Say he's in my gym here.
I agree with you guys. Yeah, I agree.
He's going to failure and he's like fucking at the end of a set. He's grinding a rep.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. Like Justin said, and like you guys are saying, if it's real and it's earned and the kid has been in there for like, even if he's not big, if he's been training for a couple of years and he knows how to take his body to that place, then fucking you got to make noise. Like everybody makes noise.
We can all distinguish the difference between making noise for no reason, making noise because you're pushing a set to the end.
Yeah.
If you're on the last 3 reps of a leg extension, it hurts like hell. And if you make a little bit of noise.
Yeah.
It's like telling a virgin not to make a noise when he comes because he hasn't earned it yet.
No, it's not. That's not a good analogy at all. That's a horrible analogy. You're fucking gonna make noise no matter what. Have you ever come quietly? No one's ever come quietly.
Oh, I'm
even when I have to be quiet because I'm not somewhere I'm somewhere I shouldn't be. It's still like there's still noise coming out. It's just like my mouth is closed.
It's like almost like a kettle. Those old school kettles on the stove. The old school kettles you got on the stove and they like squeak.
What was your favorite date with your significant other and why? If you can't think of a favorite, then one that really sticks out as special.
Married in April in Hawaii.
Did you? How was Hawaii? I always want to go there.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah, we went to Maui. That was our second time in Maui. It's awesome. And we got engaged and we planned on doing a wedding. We were gonna do like a destination wedding with family, but with COVID, everything was just fucking crazy. And I just, we said fuck it. We just went the 2 of us. to Maui and got married by ourselves on the beach. And honestly, that was amazing.
That sounds fucking great.
Yeah, it was really just like intimate and private. It was just the two of us. I mean, it's really about the two of you. So it really isn't about anybody else. And then I didn't have to worrying about what my folks were doing or trying to keep everyone else happy. Like we got to do that. We went back to the hotel or our condo, got ready, went and had dinner, and just had fun, do whatever the fuck we wanted, and didn't have to worry about anybody else.
It's funny.
I got to cry on the beach and get married and not feel like a pussy.
Did you cry?
I did cry. Yeah, it was cool, dude.
It was cool. So I had two weddings because I had we did a Muslim ceremony because my mom's like, you got to do it this way. Yeah. And then Summer didn't convert, like she's still Catholic. So then we did a normal, like a traditional Western wedding. Right. Not Western like cowboy heels and shit, but like North American.
So, or an assless chaps on me.
So the Muslim wedding we did was just literally our immediate family, and I had like two or three of my best friends, and that's the same thing she had. That to me was way better than like the big wedding. The more intimate.
People spend 30, 40 grand to feed 100 people. Why?
Yeah. It's like you have a whole bunch of acquaintances there. It's like
people that you don't really want to see, and
so you've been with your girl 6 years, but married for how long then?
Yeah, we got married in April, so April
it's been short.
21st. Yeah.
So why? Can I ask? This is probably a bad question to ask, but how expensive was how long you were there? How much did you spend?
I mean, we were in a really nice condo, so I spent like 10 grand for the 2 weeks I was there on a condo.
2 weeks?
But nice, yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad for 2 weeks.
Or no, it was 10 days. It ended up being 10. I think 10 days.
Yeah.
And then, and then the wedding itself was like $800. It was nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. My wedding was like 40 grand.
But obviously, when you're there, you end up spending money. But accommodation wise, I think we spent 10 grand on a nice condo, and it had a beautiful ocean view and its own private beach. And that's also where we went snorkeling, which I almost drowned and died. I didn't
snorkeling.
I went snorkeling in 2017 in Hawaii, and I was 185 pounds.
Oh,
so I went back at 265, about 260. And I just go out there thinking, fuck, let's snorkel. This is fun. So my wife, she's charging. She's faster than I am, obviously. And I start feeling, I'm trying to breathe through this fucking straw.
Yeah.
And I get under, as soon as my ears get underwater, I hear myself breathing, and I'm struggling, I'm shaking, I'm popping up. Holy fuck, I'm struggling to breathe. I don't even really think about the fact that I'm about to start sinking.
Yeah.
So I think I just got to catch Jasmine and tell her what's going on. So I swim out, and I get to her, and I'm like, hey, I'm struggling. I can't breathe. I gotta, this isn't working. Well, by that time I look back, and I'm,
you're way the fuck out. Are you wearing a life vest? Are you wearing a life vest?
No, I wasn't wearing a life vest. I just got stupid paddles, and that's how I did it in 2017. I was just a little guy, and I'm barely treading water. I'm panicking, so I end up like hugging a rock and coral, and I'm fucking water's slamming me, and I'm getting fucking cut up from the coral, and because at this point I'm terrified. There's a boat, that's like about 20 yards this way. That's taking people snorkeling, so it's like a snorkeling tour.
Yeah.
I almost went for the boat because I thought I don't think I can make it back.
Yeah.
I end up turning around and just going for it, and I made it back, but I was terrified. I thought honestly, I got back to the shore and I was crying because I felt like I was going to die.
Dude,
I seriously was crying. I was like, this is horrifying. Absolutely.
The same thing happened to me. The same time I went to my brother rented a cottage in Michigan in Saginaw. Same thing. We went on a tubing on a boat, right? Like he's pulling us around on a tube, and he dropped me off. There was like this big trampoline out in the middle of the lake, kind of like on a sandbar.
Yeah.
But there's a sandbar, and there's about 30 yards before you get to the shore. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I can fucking make it there. Like I thought it was sandbar all the way. I didn't know it was like dipped and came back up. Mm-hmm. So I'm jumping on the trampoline. I'm all out of breath, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back in. Same thing, dude. I got in the water. I'm like, I look up. I'm like, I'm a foot under the water. So I start trying to swim. I swear to you, I thought I was gonna die.
I was certain.
I'm like, I'm not.
And in those moments, you think you can just like relax and breathe and normalize. No,
I was fucking terrified. Yeah,
we had this conversation before, and I said, I was about 120 pounds of weight difference between the last time I went swimming, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then when like maybe like 6-7 years later, I jumped in the sea. I was like, nope, I'm not built for this anymore. Get me the fuck out.
The muscle makes you sink like a fucking stone, man. You have no.
I went back to the rental place. I was like, dude, what the fuck were you thinking? Looking at me, and not sending me out with
a life vest,
a buoy or something. Yeah. So they have these things that like clip around your waist. That's a little buoy that like goes on your low back.
Yeah.
Where it keeps you elevated like this, so you're not, upright. Yeah. So you're actually able to lay and
snorkel.
Snorkel. Yeah. So I ended up getting that, and I was like, dude, you almost fucking killed me, man. What the fuck?
I don't think honestly. I don't think the average person realizes, because people think weight weight means you're going to float, or he thinks you're fit, you'll be able to swim.
Yeah, right.
They don't realize that
my wife's fit. I'm fat.
But I didn't realize it either. Like, we have a pool here, and I'm like, swimming the length of the pool is a fucking bitch.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
so we have a river spot here in town where I used to always jump off of rocks, and you guys see with like my BMX, I would like gainer off the rocks, backflip off the rocks, fine, sure, fun. This year we went there, and I go to jump off the rock, and I'm like 260 at the time, and I hit the water, and I just keep going down and down and down. Usually you go down and you swim twice, and you're at the top. Dude, I mean, I'm 1, 2, 3. I mean, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's swimming's scary. I don't like it anymore.
Water scares me now. I never used to love the water. Now it terrifies the shit out of me.
So Hawaii, Samson, what's your best date or time with your wife that you can remember other than sex?
Well, Amsterdam, actually. We got stoned in Amsterdam. We ran through the street all over the place to find a pizza place. That was actually funny. That was back in 2017.
That's cool. Ben, anything?
I kind of had two, but like the hike that we did in Colorado was just awesome.
Yeah.
That just looked awesome.
Because like it was 5 hours of hard, certainly the way up was hard hiking.
Yeah.
So we'd stop here and there, we'd have a little chat, but it was like an experience to like achieve something together. So that was really cool. But I probably have to say the best memory I have is the night we met, and I've probably told this before, but it's sad. It means more now as time's gone on, because it was after the Arnold that Luke placed third, and we were in the bar celebrating Luke's win, and that was when Sean came and hang out with us. So there's like me, Luke, Sean, Donice, and then the Protan girls. And then actually that's the same night that I managed to watch the UFC with Randy Couture on his phone, because he was sat there. And then just a bunch of cool shit all happened. Like I think Jim Mannion came up to Luke and was like telling him, like, just chatting to us. Like we were both, he wasn't chatting to me, he didn't know who the fuck I was. But he was like, a really bright future. And then like a few judges came up, and Luke and I were just like, it was this surreal evening. And then Denise and I got fucked up on whiskey, and it was just to say, because of all of that and what's gone on since, it just there's a really fond like memory, special place in my heart.
Did you have sex with Denise that night?
Yes.
What else did you guys do?
It was the first night that Denise had ever seen foreskin.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
None of us want to know about your foreskin. Your wizard sleeve, as you call it. I think me and Summer, I think our best day was Saint Martin. We did it because me and Summer don't do a lot. We're always working. We're always home, fucking working on something. Like, so we actually went on vacation to Saint Martin. I had a guest posing there, and she came with me. That was probably that whole week. We did a lot of different shit that we don't normally do, like boating and fucking jet skiing and just shit that's not normal for us. So that's probably the best day in our 15 years. Best week. Favorite cheat meal, Justin?
I love Indian food.
Do you? You're like the third person to say that. No way, man.
So I fuck burger and fries. I guess that's what I want post show. I want some
Indian food, really?
Yeah. Why? What's wrong with Indian food?
Wait. You have to actually go outside the US for really good Indian food too.
I mean, I have a proper back in the UK, hole in the wall. Indian spot. It's pretty good.
The UK, like a curry is like the national dish for some bizarre reason.
Oh yeah.
fucking good food.
I don't see it.
Is it the same thing over there in the US though? I didn't like that big on curry.
No,
Yeah,
I can't find. Not
I
here.
mean, not in Texas.
no.
Yeah, here. Yeah.
Wait a
here we
minute.
got-
Wait a minute. Everybody's talking at once. Ben, you're in Texas, so it doesn't count. Justin, do you have any good Indian places?
I have a good Indian place here in my town.
But I don't know if that
I mean,
counts.
but-
'Cause you haven't had Indian food in the UK, so you can't really compare.
Yeah, I don't have much to compare to.
Wait, people are gonna freak out because there's gonna be a bunch of people be like, "It's about British curry." Then there's gonna be Indian people in India that are gonna be like, "Fuck that guy! He doesn't know what curry is."
Okay.
Oregon's not exactly famous for its Indian food. I guess.
Okay. Indian food, Samson, you?
Mine was always pizza, man.
All right, good. I have somebody I can be friends
you're
with.
such a. This is a kid in the class that gives the answer the teacher wants to hear. Look.
Oh man, pizza. But what else is there? I'm being seriously. You know, pizza or some Chinese meal or something. But mine was always pizza. Pizza always seems to be the right thing, man.
I think because you said pizza, I'm going to order some pizza tonight.
I love pizza. Pizza's awesome. I'll eat pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, pizza's great. Ben's the only one who doesn't like pizza.
I don't. I can live without.
I don't really like Domino's.
What do you do? What do you do?
Domino's is okay for that. I know you like Domino's.
No, I don't like Domino's. I actually,
You don't?
no, Windsor's actually known for its pizza because we have like a large Italian population here.
Yeah.
So they actually make like real pizza. It's not like
Yeah.
Domino's
Good,
or
proper pizza, yeah.
Windsor is known for its pizza purely off of Fouad's buying habits. He's bought that much pizza in his lifetime that it's actually on the map for it.
It's honestly my go-to. It's the only cheat meal that never fucking lets me down. I eat it and I'm like, that was worth it. You know, sometimes you get a cheat meal, you try something different, you're like, that kind of sucked, and then your cheat meal's gone.
I always feel that way about pizza.
Yeah,
I always eat.
return.
Wait, what is the? You know what I'm saying, Justin? Your cheat meal's gone after.
Yeah, I know
You know
what
what I mean?
you're saying.
Like
Yeah.
you wasted you have one
Yeah,
cheat meal
no,
a
it's
week.
pretty upsetting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to waste
Throw
the
this up
calories.
and restart.
I don't want to waste the calories on pizza.
But what I'm
But
saying
what
is,
do you like though, man?
no, but wait a minute. What I'm saying is, if you get one cheat meal a week, I like
Yeah.
the old standby that never lets me down, and that's pizza.
Yeah.
If I try something different, you know, sometimes I get Five Guys and the bun's soggy. I'm like, fuck, this sucks. And then my cheat meal's gone for the week. I have to wait a whole week
So
to
I
have
do.
something good.
It's my mom's recipe is a lasagna, that, and then a tub of Ben and Jerry's, and a Ben and Jerry's is never
There you go.
wrong.
Ben and
Like,
Jerry's is
Ben and
also
Jerry's-
a staple.
My cheat meal for most of the year was like a homemade pasta dish with garlic bread and then a pineapple spoon.
See that doesn't feel.
So
Yeah.
Justin and I could hang. We could do curry one night.
Yeah.
We could do homemade pizza the other night.
Yep.
We're good.
Okay. I love homemade pasta as well. So I'm going to hang out with you guys on those nights. But I have a thing in my head. If it's not bad for me, it doesn't feel like a cheat meal.
Ben and Jerry's
That's
isn't good for you.
Samson, you feel that way too, don't you?
I feel exactly that way because you know when you go out and you order like a takeaway Chinese food and they come in like with rice and
Yeah.
you know it's all fried rice and stuff. I feel like that's so close to like what I'm eating.
So clean.
God, you and him are the same. You're
Man,
telling me the Chinese fried rice. is
See, I feel the same, Samson.
it's too close to what's good. Like it's too close to my prep food, man. I want the extreme opposite of
That's
what
right.
I'm getting.
Like if I get like vegetable fried rice, I'm like, that's like the same rice I just ate. I'm like, it's cool. Like this doesn't do anything. It doesn't feel bad enough. I need to kill the craving completely. Like it has to be shit.
But I'm on board with Ben. I think I always need a pint of ice cream with my cheat meal.
No,
So
that
if
I
do
agree
something
with.
like that, it's tough to transition into the ice cream. But if I eat just a pasta and garlic bread and then I can eat my ice cream, I'm not completely fucked from the pasta and garlic bread.
No, my
No, I get
go-to
it.
is the pizza and then the Ben and Jerry's. I have to like those two are
Yeah,
together.
hey, I'm not gonna argue with that.
Ronald's always have the hot wings, the 5 hot wings to start off with, and then the full large pizza, and then the Ben and Jerry's afterwards. You
Yeah.
know, cookies and cream,
Yeah.
definitely.
Fucking Samson, me and you got to hang out. So, so all week this week, I think I've had like 80 wings this week. I don't know why. I've been order.
That's a lot of wings.
I've been Uber Eatsing fucking wings like every other day.
Wait, can
How
I
much
just
did
say?
that? How much did that Starbucks cost you to Uber Eats?
It's like $12.
Did you Uber Eat it?
No, I
You
went.
did?
I went and got it.
You went and got it. Okay.
What were you gonna say, Ben?
So, I was going to say, for anyone that's been following me from like when I was working with Milos, which was the end of 2017, right? Milos would give me a cheat meal on a Sunday. when I was living, this was when I was living just outside of London, the nearest takeaway to me was Domino's. So anyone that was following me there would see every Sunday, I would get 2 large pizzas, a box of their cookies, and a tub of Ben and Jerry's. So I did that for like 6 months straight.
Maybe that's why. Maybe you burned it out. That's why you don't like pizza anymore.
Where the takeaway guy always seems to already know your order when you call them up. Like just a regular, like they already know that it's that exact time of this day every week, that same Saturday evening, exact same time. And when you call them, they're like, oh yeah, we don't. Okay.
But here's the thing: a lot of times I was only ordering the pizzas because I wanted the cookies and the ice cream.
Okay.
You get what I mean? You know when you order out and they have like one place does like the dessert and it's amazing.
Because Domino's has that big cookie. Domino's has a big
No. I had the small four.
Okay.
4. They got 4 cookies that come out and they're
like
hot
those
and they're
cinnamon sticks. Those are good.
Okay.
But I was kind of convinced I was accepting the 2 large pizzas because I really wanted the cookies and ice cream.
You're like, I might as well eat the pizza. It's here.
Yeah.
All right. Had a fun. Yeah, I know, right? Well, I'll eat for you. How to fund the bodybuilding lifestyle as a young adult.
Sell weed.
So have a grow up like fucking Justin. No, all my advice would be is whatever job you take, make sure it's bodybuilding friendly. And what I mean by that is, if you work at a factory and you have shift work, you can usually stop to get a meal in because you start work, then you usually have like your first break 2 hours later, then you have a lunch, then you have another break, and then you leave. So you can get a meal in every couple hours.
Yeah, if you have 2 15s and a half-hour break, you're set up.
Yeah, or like for me, that's why I bounced for so long, because like they didn't care if I ate while I was standing at the door, or like I could just go in the back and eat and come back to the door. So like whatever job you find, just make sure it's bodybuilding friendly so you can continue to get your food in and continue to do all the things you got to do. As far as money goes, fuck man, you got to learn to eat cheap. Like I had a lot of ground beef and a lot of tuna and I'm not talking the good tuna either. I'm talking like the shit that looks like cat food that you buy for like 59 cents. Yeah. So there's really
a big bag of rice and a big bag of frozen chicken breast is pretty cheap.
Yeah. It's true. If you're gonna eat, if you really want to eat cheap, I think I did a video on my channel. There's one that says bodybuilding on a budget, and all the meals were under $2.
Yeah, and you can get a big thing of affordable olive oil that you can drizzle on there if you need fats. Like that shit can go a long way. Yeah, the rice is the best, the cheapest thing for sure. Pasta's not expensive either. No.
So, and any advice?
But then you have to add a sauce to pasta though.
Yeah, but you can get the cheap fucking 59-cent.
But you know what I mean though? You can do chicken and rice with a bit of olive oil. You can do it kind of dry.
Yeah, you don't need salt.
You can do it real cheap. You start adding in pasta sauces, and then you put in a little like Parmesan cheese on there. You're getting all fancy and adding
fancy. For me, pasta was a staple when I was coming up in my off seasons because it was so cheap, and I never ever got sick of it. I could eat pasta and ground beef or pasta and chicken every fucking meal of the day if I wanted to. I wouldn't get
dry.
No. I have to have the sauce on it.
The sauce, okay.
But I didn't care about getting a little chubby in the off season, so I would just do fucking ground beef, pasta, and sauce, and I would do that, or I would do ground chicken or ground turkey, and I would do that like 4 of the 6 meals every day in the off
ground
season.
Beef. Those big things of ground beef are pretty cost efficient.
Well, even funky tubes of it.
Yeah. Even when I was prepping though, if like I would eat inside round or outside round steak, which is like super tough to eat, but like I would get the butcher. I would say I want 20 pounds. Can you grind up?
Ground it, yeah.
Yeah, he would grind up inside and outside round steak, and I'd grind up 20 pounds for me, and it's like 4 grams of fat per 4 ounces, so it's like it's really really lean. So I would just mix that with my rice. So, and it's also really cheap because it's not like a good cut of steak. So that's a really good thing to do when you're prepping and you want to save money too. You can get that.
Most people are going to save money when they pivot to like a clean bodybuilding diet.
Oh yeah.
You know,
well, because there's.
I think
go ahead.
In a weird way, the off season is cheaper than the prep, though, right?
I feel like it's the other way.
I get pretty bougie in my off season. I buy expensive steak and.
Now because you can afford it.
Sure. Yeah.
So what I mean is, if you're literally just going to do a budget. If you're high on carbs and fats, they're relatively cheap. It's the protein. If you're a little lower on the protein, because invariably most people will add a little more protein as they start dieting as the carbs come down, right? Protein content goes up.
Yeah.
And that's the expensive part of a diet is the protein, I find. That's my point.
I can see your point. My problem is in the off season, I would always eat out more. Even when I was younger, even if it was shit food, like not a nice restaurant, but like I would eat out more, or like I would add condiments like sauce and Parmesan cheese and all that stuff costs more. I found when I started dieting, it was literally like bag of frozen fucking broccoli, rice, and my flank steak, or not flank steak, my inside outside round steak, which was cheap as fuck. And that was my diet. So
a bunch of green beans and some 99-1 turkeys, pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Hunter has fucked my shopping bill up now because he was eating filet for his beef meals.
No, you're fucked.
And so now all I can eat is filet because I'm just like, everything else just tastes like shit to me. Yep. So all of my beef meals are bison filet, and I'm like, fuck, this is expensive.
I did that one year.
Only, baby.
I think the one year I worked with Han, a couple of years I worked with Hani, when he carb loaded me, the protein source was tenderloin, like the filet. And I'm like, it made the carb load amazing because I'm like, this is the best steak I ever had. But then I got used to it. And I'm like, oh fuck, man, I gotta fucking start selling drugs or something to make more money.
Thing is, I do it as my meal 5, and then Denise is like, oh, can you make 2 of those? So now I'm having to do 2 meals.
Double the bills.
Yeah. My son's banging on the door.
Let him in. We only got a little bit to go.
He's walking and running around.
Justin, how you doing, man? I don't want to keep you too long. Are you okay?
Oh, good. Honestly, I feel fine. I feel really good. So 3 weeks out, I honestly I feel a lot better than I have in previous preps.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I feel good.
Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Look at that fucking hair. Has that been cut yet since he was born?
Nope.
It's almost as good as my hair was.
I'm so jealous of that hair. When I look at that, I'm like, fuck, that's good hair.
Yeah.
She's adorable.
Yeah. Hi.
Took his first steps.
He looks like his mom.
It's funny. He looks exactly like Ben. I don't know why he's good looking. Ben's not good looking.
No, Ben.
I don't know why they're not waving back, buddy. They
Sorry.
Don't like you.
Sorry. Hi.
Yeah, there you go. Hi.
I'll be the screen grab for the podcast. That's all waving.
Oh. Okay. Hey, bye bye. Right. Go bye bye. Bye bye.
Now all I can think about is Fouad telling me I look weird without my beard.
Is that you've been stuck on that for a while, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Don't shave it. Don't shave it. Just leave it.
You look weird.
I didn't say weird. I didn't mean it bad. I didn't mean bad.
Weird.
Well, I was used to seeing you with that big scruff, and
I know. Yeah, I do it to hide my fat face.
I wouldn't let you hold my child if you had no beard.
You wouldn't? Okay. I get
it. Make the perfect bodybuilding body with one part off each podcast member. Nick's arms. I think Ben froze. No. Is Ben frozen for you guys? There he is. Nick's arms.
No, I'm good.
Nick's arms. James quads.
Ben's back.
Ben's back.
I'm sorry.
It fits right in.
My back
fits right in. This guy. Samson's waist. Who's my chest?
Yep.
Who's back?
Ian.
Guy's hamstrings from the side.
Guy's or Nick's hamstrings.
Yeah, Nick's hamstrings in the rear shots. Crazy. Yeah.
Ian's calves.
That's as bad as my back. Ian's forearms. Ian's forearms are fucking nuts.
Ian's shoulders.
Yeah, he's so fucking wide.
Ian's wide as fuck. Go Ian's shoulders.
But Brett,
we're missing a back. Brett's back.
Brett's back.
Brett's back
is pretty good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good bodybuilder. Fuck, imagine that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good bodybuilder. It's a fucking phenomenon. That's like world class.
Could you imagine that look? Honestly, but Brett's back, Samson's waist, my chest, Ian's shoulders,
Nick's arms,
James's quads.
James's quad from the side is just bananas, by the way.
James's quad is
he has that sweep over there on the side. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a good bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Who has the biggest arms in the whole crew? Nick. How often do you have to take rest days before you notice effects of overtraining? After 3 days, I need a break. Anybody else?
Yep. Yeah, 3 days minimum or maximum that I can go.
I mean, I could force the fourth if the fourth day is like arms, but
but no.
I go a week.
Samson, you go the whole week?
Too much.
I go a week and it's rest days on Sundays.
Imagine how much you're going to grow when you take an extra day.
Yeah, I'd fall apart.
He's talking about Milos. He's not going to allow an extra day.
That's what I was going to say. You don't
less is more, lazy sons of bitches.
Do you know what happened on last show, right? We came off, and basically I came off the stage on Sunday. We flew back on Monday. On Tuesday, we picked up the keys to my new house, and since then we've just been moving house for a week, right? So Milos is like, okay, let's start your rebound. Okay, let's get you going. I was like, okay, let me get a week rest and going. He's like, okay, just go. Then literally the ending of that week, he messaged going, okay, how's update? How's it going? And I said, look, this week, obviously, we're moving house. My stuff is all over the place. I haven't been able to train this week. I haven't been able to eat properly. He was pissed off, man. He was like, what are you doing, man?
You're wasting the rebound.
He came on stage 5 days ago. He doesn't have breaks. He doesn't have breaks.
But I promise you from my own experience. So John used to want me to do 6 days, but I'm not good at doing like taking my foot off the gas. So I was never good at doing pump days and heavy days. Like that's what John wanted me to do. Man, I found once I did 6 days, my progress slowed more than because what always worked for me was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, day off, and then Friday, Saturday, and then day off. So I would give myself like a break in the middle of the week. So I don't know. Have you ever done that, or have you always trained 6 days?
I've always trained 6 days, because where I used to work, weekends were the only day I really had off. So I just took one of them days off, like off the gym. I've never actually had a chance. I'd love to
see you take a day off in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Oh, really?
And then eat.
It's amazing. Honestly, I train Monday, Tuesday, back, chest, and then I take Wednesday off, and then I start with legs, and I'm fresh.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I feel good for legs. Yeah.
I usually I usually just do it according to like the worst body part of the one you're prioritizing, right? So for you, if you want to prioritize your back, you would start with back, then go chest, then go fucking arms or something, and take a day off, and then go legs and shoulders or something like that. Whatever kind of split. But like I would always take my biggest body parts and put them after the day off. So like if Sunday was a day off.
Do you end up having like 2 days off in the week, or do you just play it like every 3 days you have a break?
No, I would do usually Thursday and Sunday was usually my days. Sunday, I always wanted Sunday off. And
Sunday.
Yeah, and then I did stuff like Justin before. Sometimes I would do 2 days and then a day off, but I would alternate between Wednesday and Thursday. I would always have a day off in the middle of the week, depending on what my split was. And I found that
sounds great.
Because Samson, what happens is like you're depleting glycogen, and I know this is going to go against what Milos says, but in my opinion, if you're training hard and you get those 3 days, right? And let's say you do back, chest, shoulders, or back, chest, arms, right? You just depleted the fuck out of your body. So you take that day off and then you refuel everything, and then you go back in for legs, and your glycogen stores are back to 100%. Right?
I know that my output is not the same if I don't take that rest day. My leg day isn't nearly as effective.
And it's not only.
I can already notice it like towards the ending of the week. Obviously, that's why I put my most stronger muscle group at the week, because I know that's fresh and everything else. The weaker muscle group comes first. The stronger ones stay at the end. But the idea of actually having like a midweek rest and then coming back fresh, actually is a great idea. Actually,
that's the thing I always noticed with John's methods when we used to do 6 days. And John actually told me eventually to take it away because he knew I wasn't able to like go 50% in the gym. So he's like, just take the middle day out. But I would notice the same thing when I went 6 days. By the time I got to Friday, I was like chronically overtraining. And I'm like, I'm just pushing myself mentally now through these workouts. My body doesn't actually want to be here. Yeah. So, and I think that's something people don't realize either. There's such a thing as chronic overtraining, where it's like you mentally can push yourself to go, but your body might need the rest. So like I can always drink a pre-workout and force myself to go to the gym. It doesn't mean my body should be there.
Sometimes it's just about how you feel mentally, though. I know after that rest day, when I get in the gym, I'm excited to train legs. Yeah. So I just had the day off.
Yeah. But I think
feel
that's
fresh mentally and cognitively. I'm ready to attack the session.
But that's the other thing, and I don't know, Ben, maybe you can touch on this too. Is I don't think overtraining is just physical. Like when you want to be in the gym, that's when you don't want to go to the gym one day. Maybe not just one day, it's not always, but I would say like when you all of a sudden don't feel like going to the gym for numerous days in a row, that's to me, that's part of overtraining.
You are talking about us though.
Well, I'm specifically talking to Samson. Yeah.
No. What I mean is you'll have some people listening who aren't like
Training
obsessed with training. And they're like, well, that's every day. So I need to take the full week off. And like, I never feel like training. I mean, no. Like you have to already be in the kind of group of like, it's kind of trying to hold you back, right? We're hard to hold back. If you have that mindset, then I believe more rest. It's everything, right? It's not just, that's what I was saying to you before. Like, Milos's methods work for some people. Like every coach's methods will work for someone somewhere. But genetically, a lot of people cannot recover. Yeah, even if you're providing it with all the nutrition you can. Like you could fucking IV me 24 hours a day. I could not recover. My CNS, my joints, my tendons, all of that just wouldn't recover training every day.
Well, and not just that, I've made the most progress this year by cutting my volume down by a third.
Yeah.
I mean, I backed way off. Most of what I do is usually 1 to 2 sets.
Yeah.
Train 5 days a week, and that's helped me a lot.
Well,
prioritizing recovery has been huge.
Well, this is the other thing too, especially for you, Samson, because Samson, you train more like I do. You train faster and you train with more volume. And you don't necessarily you do a little bit of progressive overload, but it's more just like volume. These guys, like Ben, if anybody was going to do 6 days, it would be somebody like Ben or Justin, where they're only doing 1 or 2 top working sets. If you're doing 3 or 4 working sets per exercise, you probably need the rest even more.
Dude, up until last week, I was doing 5 working sets in a whole workout.
Yeah, that's not like us, Samson. Samson, we do like, me.
And most I usually do is like 7, 8.
Yeah, like me and you will lay down on a bench and do, we'll work up to 3 plates and then maybe do 4. But like I count the 3 plates as a working set.
I counted 2 plates as a proper set.
So chest, I'll do 5 working sets total for chest.
Yeah,
but that day I'll end up doing 8 working sets total because I'll do triceps. I'll do 3 working sets for triceps.
See, if I'm doing that flat bench, those last 3 sets are all working sets because I'm going to go probably to failure or close to it with 3 plates, 3 1/4, and then 4.
Yeah, see, the
I
3
can't
and
do
the
that
3,
close to failure.
The 3 and the 3 1/4, I'll be doing 3 reps on both.
A double or a triple.
Exactly. So
and
Samson,
then I'm gonna get
So Samson, that's where me and you are different. We train more like a Cutler style where it's like more volume.
Yeah, just high volume.
And
I might do as low as a single working up that top weight just to feel it.
And also, Justin, you're probably like Ben, where you take like 2-3 minutes between sets.
I make sure to regulate my breathing and I make sure to regulate, my energy output so I have adequate and ample energy for that working set.
Yeah.
I don't waste any energy anywhere else except for on the working sets.
Yeah, Samson, if you ask me to take a 2-minute rest on like,
I might as well go cold. Again,
I'll be like, fuck that, get me out of here. This is too boring.
The fun part is I get to standardize that approach. So every time I'm in the gym, it's the exact same thing every time. And then I have it annotated in my phone. Like I said, I just log in my phone. And every time I have these markers, I get to try and beat every time. And that's the game for me.
If you're doing progressive overload, what you guys are saying is exactly right. For me and Samson, we're not like, if I bench 405 this week, I'm probably going to bench 405 next week and the week after that and the week after that.
I don't do that for everything. Like if I'm doing, bicep curls, I'll pyramid up in sets of 10 just to, accumulate some fatigue on the way up. I don't really mind.
I don't think, to me personally, I don't think heavy weights work with arms. So that's probably why you're doing that for arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Samson with the sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Or lateral.
I was going to say the hack squat, what you did when it was me, you, James, and Guy. And what's funny is you had 2 guys, you and Guy, that are like fast-paced volume guys, and then you got James and I, who we can train. Like Justin, you
take it easy.
It's the same, and
double wait 2 minutes.
And once we get up to that top set, so okay, this is the one we're gonna go at. Like, this is gonna be all out, and then there's no rush. We're like, okay, we'll strap up, take our time, get the music right. Okay, all right, are we ready? You ready? And then Fouad's there going like, fucking get on with it.
Like, that's the thing. Like when there's more than 3 of us training, I mean, even 3 of us, I'm like, nah, it's too many. Wait,
yeah, I can't do more than 2 people.
The only time I can do 3 is for legs. Then I can do 3 because it's a little bit, because you take a little bit longer rest.
A little bit longer to recover. That's
4 people.
And the other thing is like, nah, that's not going to work out. That's
4 people is never going to work for me.
But I'll take 4 if I'm doing like a heavy squat or hack squat. It'll be maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes if I'm really if I need it.
But
if I'm doing like a heavy deadlift session, I don't mind if 3 or 4 of us are pulling off the floor together. That's fine.
But I mean, everybody's got their own. Everybody has their own goal for their training. Your guys' goal is different than me and Samson. Me and Samson are chasing a pump and a soreness. You and Ben, Justin, you and Ben are chasing weight and progressive. Getting that heavier.
What I'm chasing is tension, is mechanical tension.
Yeah, but
the more weight I can use, the more tension I can put on the muscle.
That's right.
So I try to optimize everything around that.
See, I'm chasing reps. So if I can do 4,
I'm chasing reps too. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if I'm using the same weight and I gain a rep, that's progression.
But what I'm saying is, if like I can do 405 for 10, and that's like my failure, I'm going to try and get 405 for 12.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like,
So I'll try to get 410 for 10. Just that extra 2.5 on each side.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how
things accumulate over time.
It's funny. We call your guys' style progressive overload. Me and Samson also do progressive overload, but it's just a different way. It's like I'm chasing more pump based.
But it's not.
I think you guys progressing. I think you guys do, in my opinion, a lot of that volume can mitigate your ability to progress in weights and in reps.
But that's
within the gym.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's the difference. Is some people equate more strength with more muscle, and I don't necessarily believe that's 100% true. It's only one aspect of it.
Yeah.
And
like Ben said earlier, all these different approaches work.
Yep.
And I built a lot of muscle just training with high volume.
Yeah,
but I did get to a point where it didn't work for me.
A lot of times it's like, what stimulates this? What keeps this interested, right? Because if I did your style of training, no, I'm not doing it. After 5 months, I've not trained as hard because I didn't enjoy it as much. So my progression outside of the gym doesn't look like the same thing as if I stuck to the way out. That intrigues my brain.
I said that
honing in and perfecting that one working set and executing that set as perfectly as possible. That's what gets me fired up. And chasing that extra 2.5 pounds or that extra rep, that's what gets me fired up in the gym.
See, for me, I'm chasing. I want to make sure my body's fully taxed.
Yeah.
So when I'm training, I want to feel like if I'm training legs or chest or any body part, I'm not chasing a weight. I want to tax the muscle completely. So if I'm done a workout and I feel like the muscle's not taxed, I don't feel a good pump, I don't feel like I'm burnt out, or tomorrow I wake up and I don't feel any soreness, I'm like, something's not right.
I feel taxed and I feel sore after my
No. Listen, I'm not arguing one side or
another. We're just taking different routes.
Different approaches. Yeah.
I'll feel more taxed doing one set to complete failure. So I'm trembling and shaking, and someone has to
shitting yourself on the leg press.
Then doing 3 sets that were submaximal, and the last one I take close to failure, but I can in a safe environment. Not that whole like fucking shaking, trembling, like where my CNS is shot to bits. And that's why the 2 methods work in complete opposites of each other, because you cannot mix the 2.
But you can. But wait a minute.
You can't do 3 sets and on the 3rd set take it to the extent that say Justin or I or James or Ian do, because
I don't agree. And I'm not. But just hear out why. Just hear me out for 1 second. When we train shoulders, I still went to failure on my last sets of each of those exercises we chose
with a lesser weight.
That's right. So
you were so what I mean is you can't do the 2, because if you adopt your method, you're already limiting what Justin.
You're not going to be able to.
You're
lift
now
as much.
limiting your ability. So where we take it to, and I'm not saying ours is better. They both work. What I'm saying is they are opposites, and you can't blend the 2. Really, when you try and blend the 2, you take away the true value of each One.
Okay, I agree with that.
And I
Yeah.
also
You know what
find
I
that
mean?
if
Yeah.
I'm working up in sets of 10 on a, say, a shoulder press, by the time I get to that top set, my shoulders are a little bit fatigued, and then I start utilizing my triceps to drive, and I'm not as efficient.
No, but see,
So I don't load the actual muscle as well as if I just preserve that energy and came into it fresh.
See, that's where we think of it differently. I
Mhm.
am loading the muscle. I'm just finishing off whatever fibers are left. You want the muscle to be totally healthy still and ready to lift the maximal amount of weight. Whereas I'm like, I want it to be half fucked. So when I get there, I finish it off.
But we can fuck a muscle with more weight at the end.
It doesn't matter.
more
If the
tension.
muscle's fucked, the muscle's fucked. It's just two different approaches.
No, I know. I'm saying we're achieving the same thing.
Yeah.
But if Justin and I try to end the way we do, but we try to warm up a little more aggressively,
I get it.
we now retract from being able to load the muscle maximally and fuck our whole system up.
I
think the biggest thing for me is it allows me to have a plan because everything is quantifiable. My progress is quantifiable. It's the same approach every single time. I have it logged in my logbook. I know when I'm improving. I either came to the gym, I improved, or I didn't.
Yeah,
so
and like I said,
to me, I'm able to quantify my progress.
That's important, and you are gonna. It is important to have that measuring stick. My measuring stick is the scale in the mirror.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I don't.
But that's where
measure by like how much weight I lifted. I measure more by what my body looks like.
And I don't measure just by weight. Sometimes I do the same exact weight for less reps, but I do it with a slower negative, or I pause in the hole.
Find a different way to.
That's progression.
So
go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
I'm not arguing over our way is better than your way.
No, I know.
They both work. What I'm saying is, and it's more actually, it raises a good point. I see a lot of people trying to adopt our way of training and doing it incorrectly because they're still doing the
traditional bodybuilding training, but they're also trying to add JP's training.
Yeah, they're utilizing junk volume in their working sets and not taking
and then what they're doing is they're detracting away from the final set and the final output, and that is all that matters in our system. Our system is do whatever you need to do, or as little or as much as you need to do, so that one set couldn't be any more.
I get it. No, listen, this is an old debate or topic to discuss, because like even me and Evan have talked about this, because Evan was always of your mind, like I'm gonna rest as long as I need to, so that when I do squat, I can squat 6 plates instead of 5. Because if I don't rest,
why am I going to jump in on my second set of leg press without taking a big enough break, and then I just shit the bed on that second set of leg press?
Because
if I lose 10 reps on the back end of it, because
you're just thinking of it. See, this is the thing. You're adding a negative connotation to it. That's the part I think I'm arguing. So you're saying,
no, you're right. I think you're right. And
what I'm saying is,
as long as you're still taking it to failure, the muscle knows it's taxed and it still responds.
The goal for both of us at the end of the day is tax all the fibers in the muscle when you leave the gym.
Yep.
Right. So I can do it the same way you can do, like the same way you do, not the same way. I get as much out of my muscle as you do, just I do it a different way.
Yeah.
Right. You do it with more weight. I do it with more volume. That's the only. There's no negativity to either one of them.
No, there really isn't. I don't mean to come off like I'm slandering that approach at all. I think just my approach is what I enjoy, and that's what makes me excited. And I love what I do. Yeah. And I think that's what's important. But I think anybody listening, just find what works for you and what you enjoy. If you don't enjoy doing what Ben and I do, then there's no point in doing it.
Yeah. And I expressed this in a most recent chest video I did. At the end of the video, I had like a 2-minute talk where I was like, look, everybody has a different technique. And I mentioned and this goes for nutrition too. Like I talked about Greg Doucette does main gaining. Some people eat shitty food and get really fat in the off season. Some people yes, there are healthier ways, and yes, there are optimal ways, but whether you're healthier or more optimal, there's a lot of different ways to get to an end goal.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing for longevity is exactly what you just said, exactly what Ben just said, is if you don't fucking like it, you're not going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So what
gets you excited?
So I can't go in the gym like Ben knows. Like I was getting like antsy, like waiting to go on like the fucking leg press and shit. Like, and Samson's like that too. Whereas Ben was like, "Fuck, man, can we just take it easy? Like, we just?"
We went from that Cybex squat press, right? And we went balls out on that. That was a high rep, so we did a set of 20. One of the first that fucked me. And then he fucking runs just for like.
I didn't run.
To the hack Okay, he waddles over to the hack spot and he's loaded. He puts 3 plates on and straight away he's into a set of 8. And I'm like, no fucking way. Like, what is happening here? I'm like, I want a little like that set. I'm still on the come down from that set over there. Like, this is like my missus. This time my missus let me blow my load in her mouth and then she hurries on. I'm like, wait.
I think part of my problem is
I hate when that happens.
I think part of my problem is I get distracted. If I sit around for too long between a set, it's like if I go to the gym, once I drink my pre-workout and I'm fucking here, I don't want to come back down and then go back up.
It's your personality type.
Yeah, I just want to.
Kind of doubles back to what we were saying before. I mean, you just have to do what suits you.
Yeah. I just want to.
I think I have the same exact mindset. It's like once you're hiking, you're in that zone.
I want to stay there. You don't want to
come out of it because you know it's hard to get back into. You almost feel like you got to pick yourself up to get back into it. Yeah. So once you hit it, you want to get it hit it as hard as you can and be done.
Mm-hmm.
I think it takes a special kind of person. Like when I see you guys talking and fucking around or whatever, and then once you're on the weight, you're like refocused. I'm like, I can't fucking.
How do you turn it off and on?
I can't.
I know a lot of people would watch me train and like the 3-second negatives on back movements. I know a lot of people would find that shit boring.
No, that I like. That I like.
Yeah.
When you make something fucking harder, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That for sure. It's just a long.
I make it harder with weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also control what you're doing. Is
No. That is something I've learned later. That's something I learned later in life because a lot of time, like I won't lie, I got into this style of training because I have an ego because it's fun to chase big weight and move. And I was relatively strong for my size. I'm still pretty strong for my size in terms of how much muscle mass I have. So it suits me because I don't have to play a game that I'm not very good at. I get to play the game I am good at.
I was going to say, you have to admit, like it's got to be a good stroke to the ego when like a guy's bigger than you. He's like, oh, I'm bigger than you, but you're squatting fucking 8 plates and he's squatting 4. Yeah. Like that's got to be a good way to like counterbalance that. Like, well, fuck you. You're bigger than me. I'm stronger than you.
But then, like Justin says, to be able to like do those kind of weights with precision and control, that's what I've developed in the last 5. I mean, that was what Luke and I really started to hone, and then I've continued to do that. That to me then goes, well, yeah, okay, I can dive bomb a bunch of weight over there, but can you do it with this amount of precision?
If you can do a 3-second negative and pause in the hole in a hack squat and explode back up with 7 or 8 plates, then you're actually strong.
See, I like that kind of stuff because John taught me all that shit. When I went to go, I'd go to Ohio and I'd train with John. John taught me about static holds and pause reps and all this stuff. I was just going to post I was doing a 4-plate pause rep on the incline. Yeah. I was going to post it yesterday because we were laughing at Guy because Guy was like talking about doing pause reps on the squat and there was no pause. It was just like he's like
everybody thinks they pause, but they don't pause.
We were
people tag me in like a paused RDL.
Yeah, I'm like, there's no pause there.
I've actually got to go and train legs right after this, so I might try pause squatting just for giggles. I've done that a long time.
Do it. Tag Guy in it.
I just think also like on a hack squat movement, spending some time in that lengthened position, loaded. That's going to be the most beneficial place to spend time. The more time you spend down loaded in the stretch is going to yield the most.
Okay, we'll do 1 or 2 more in a couple hours and we'll go. Do you do the dishes before or after you eat?
Before.
I always get too lazy after eating. I usually do it before.
I do it half and half. I do as much as I can until I lose patience, and then I eat, and then I clean up.
I wait till the sink is full.
Do you?
Right after.
I have a really big sink. It's like this big.
Oh, you see, that's why you can get away with it. No, that's like right after.
I have like a big farm sink, and I just put stuff in there. And once it gets full, I put it all in the dishwasher.
In my new house, I think I'm going to get 2 dishwashers.
Yeah.
One
clean, one.
Yeah, I think one on the island and one. Yeah.
We have a dishwasher. I don't use it. I clean everything by hand.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I have this obsession that like I have to have the sink clean at all times. Like everything's out. I am not like this with anything else. Like my bedroom, my wardrobe is fucking bomb site. But I think I've gotten this habit that I'm making food. I put like the chicken and rice in the microwave. Everything gets cleaned up. The only thing that needs washing is the bowl that I'm eating out of when I'm done.
Okay, wait.
And I go and wash it up. I go and wash it up right away. And
wait. I have a question.
And then you wash the fork too, and the spoon.
The spoon. Fuck you. There's no forks.
And then you wash your cup. You drink out of. That seems superfluous.
Wait.
Why wouldn't you just put it in the dishwasher?
That's what I was going to
Because
say.
I have favorites. I have a favorite bowl, a favorite spoon, a favorite mug, and I use them for
Only one.
So,
I have
two
favorite
spoons.
bowls. I have like a stack of like 5 bowls that I.
No, I got 2
Okay.
bowls. I got 2 bowls that are the same. The big Mickey Mouse ones. I got 2 spoons that are the same. But invariably, I just used one that day. It comes out, and I use it for all my meals.
See, I use the same bowl for all my meals, but I don't wash it in between.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a fucking animal.
You at least rinse it, yeah.
What's wrong with you,
Rinse
fucking
it.
caveman?
It's just rice and
caveman.
It's just rice and chicken. It's dry. I just put more rice and chicken in it.
No.
You don't even rinse it.
Fucking something wrong with you.
My wife hates me. She's like, your fucking bowl's dirty. Can you clean it first?
And then use the same towel for 2 weeks.
And I use not 2 weeks, seven showers.
7. Yeah.
You got some,
I reuse my towel. I'm not.
you got some hygiene issues, man.
How many times do you use your towel?
Showers 4 times a day though.
Yeah. See,
Mhm.
how many times do you use your towel before you wash your towel? Justin?
Who, me? Probably 7 times.
See?
Yeah,
Samson?
5 to 7. Well, because I mean, right now I'm showering twice a day. I shower in the morning after cardio, then I shower after I train.
Yeah.
And then do cardio. Yeah. So every 4 days or so, yeah.
Samson?
I don't know. I literally don't know.
You're like, I just keep
That's
it
the
there.
real answer. That's the real answer. I don't know. Whatever.
He doesn't want to be judged.
I take it off the rail, and that's whatever my wife has put on that day. So
Samson, how many?
Exactly that.
So it could be, you have no idea. Your wife just takes it off whenever she thinks it stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. What were we fucking talking about before? Oh, dishes. Samson, what do you do with your dishes?
Oh, no, I wash as I go.
What was the
As you
question?
go.
I only just go out different. So, for years, it's always been hand wash. So, if yours feels right, just wash it there and get ready for next time. So, you just have it dried out ready.
I don't understand why.
but you're also like when you had your workstation when you were working, it's important to keep your area clean, right?
You should be clean, isn't it? It feels weird when to have all that stuff in there because you come in.
Yeah, but you can use the dishwasher.
And you look at it, you go.
You just rinse it, put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, I agree.
See, it drives me nuts because then when I want to go use my fucking bowl and spoon, it's in the fucking dishwasher.
Then pull it out of the
Buy
dishwasher
another
and wash
one.
it.
Yes, see?
Buy another one that you like.
Just wash it up and then it's ready.
Jesus Christ, it's so much work. I'm so fucking lazy though. I'm like, it's the wrong person to ask
I
that
get it.
question.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's not why anyone only have one bowl.
Last question. You get to pick. No, wait. What's your number one clothing hate in the gym? For example,
shirts.
I knew that was coming. I was like, which asshole is going to say this? No, he means everything, like lifting gloves, base layer tops. Is there anything you look at on people and think it just makes you think why? I don't
Stringers
like
on skinny kids.
What'd you say? Stringers on
skinny kids. Yeah, it's always the smallest guys that got the stringers on.
Hey, fuck you, Justin. You keep taking shots at me all the time.
If I had a back like that, I'd be wearing a stringer too.
I don't mind the stringers as much. I don't like the spandex shorts under the bigger shorts. I think it's a stupid look.
That is stupid.
I'm like, why are you doing that?
Just wear them without the shorts on top, right?
Yeah, just wear your tights. And if your legs are too
But
small,
also wear a shirt long enough to cover up your dinghy so you're not showing everyone your dick.
Yeah, like a 5XL.
Yep.
These are long. These are long enough. These are long enough.
On your short ass, they are, not me.
Most bodybuilders are short.
Yeah, Ben.
Samson, anything bugs you?
No, stringers. I don't do stringers. I can't stand
Stringers?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Stringers now. Especially, the kind of way when you like go to the building and then you do a lift and your nipples pop out on both sides of the stringers. That
I just don't feel comfortable.
I don't mind my nipples showing if I'm shredded. It's when I'm not shredded and I have cheeseburger tits and it just looks like this.
The old cheeseburger tits.
You know what I don't like? It's when guys wear the knee sleeves around their calves.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, I'll warm up like that. Like if I'm warming up.
That bugs me. Yeah, but okay. So here's the thing, because I take like a long time. I have time in between my sets to actually take them off and put them on.
Yeah.
But when people wear them and they roll them down, I'm like, just take them. You look like you're wearing fucking like those ankle warmers from back in the 90s,
or soccer shin pads.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I do it because
session.
when I want to start, I just want to start. So I'll take my shoes off, put them on my calves, and then I'll start, and it's like after 3 or 4 warm-ups, and I roll them up. So
Yeah,
I think that's acceptable.
Yeah, because you do it, so you pushed you.
All right, that's we'll wrap it up there. Justin's dieting, and I got to eat a pizza since we talked about pizza for so long.
Yeah, pizza.
No, Ben, you don't think so?
You can. You don't have to.
I just trained arms. I feel like my arms could use.
You definitely don't.
He's
need
retired now. He
I
doesn't need to.
You know what I do have an issue with? If you're talking like, this isn't the thing that an issue I have in the gym. It's an issue I have out of the gym where people justify cheat meals based on the body part that they trained.
I think it's right.
That drives me nuts.
I do that all the time. I think it's definitely important to train when you train legs. Eating a pizza after legs is standard.
I'm going to train legs 3 times a week this offseason. Gotta eat a pizza.
My cheat meal depends on what I train that day. If it's arms, it's a smaller cheat meal. If it's legs, it's a bigger.
But why? Why? Because then there's another argument. If I had really shit arms, shouldn't I have my cheat meal on the day that I train the shit body part?
I'm saying I do have a cheat.
You have shit arms. You need to train your arms for 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I mean. So hang on. Here's the thing.
Do the Rich Piana 8-hour arm workout.
Yeah. Do you have the cheat meal on your, say, like legs, which is your biggest output body day, or do you do it on your weakest body part, or you're just doing both?
I just do every day. That way, I make sure I have enough. I have enough food in my body. I'm covered.
All bases are covered. There's no doubt.
Wait, that's an actually important topic. Well, before we go, I used to always think, and I still do, even if it's wrong, I don't give a shit. My biggest eating days were before my legging day. So I would have a massive eating day like Sunday, and then I would train legs Monday.
Yep. For me, it's Sunday, and then I train back and hamstrings on Monday.
But it wouldn't necessarily be a cheat. Like I might do like a cleaner cheat, but like I would make sure I got in a ton of calories the day before my biggest body parts, like back or legs.
I like to load up before. I will say I had 2 cheat meals a week for a while this off season. So I put one before back on Sunday, and then I went and ate big after legs.
Yeah.
I think there's benefits to both, to replenishing and to fueling prior to.
And it gives you 2 cheat meals before and after. It's perfect. All right, boys. Thanks for making the time.
All right.
We'll catch up again.
This was fun.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hosstile and myself. And lastly, check out hosstile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.